Good evening, and welcome to QuarinTime. If you're wondering why the illustrious Jack is not speaking, he is unfortunately not with us today. He will be back next week. But to fill his role, we have the amazing, the wonderful, the...
Kaylin! Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Kaylin. So, Hunter?
What?
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, hi.
Don't act so unenthusiastic, man.
I cracked the beer as soon as you said that for the comedic effect, but go on.
I'm glad we're all drinking some alcohol tonight.
It's a sad night, apparently.
So, Kaylin, why don't you just is a fan and a friend of us, and yeah.
I'm the biggest fan. I'm so thrilled that I get to be on QuarinTime with you guys, and oh my god, Hunter.
What?
I love you.
Ew.
You are my biggest inspiration. You too, Ethan. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so thrilled to be on this podcast with you guys. It is a dream come true. Really, it really is.
Well, the 11 of the people who are watching this enjoy you as well.
I'm actually all 6 of them. I created 6 accounts.
Oh,
Whoa.
That's why they're all named Kaylin Janaway. Okay.
I didn't know we had bot accounts.
Yeah.
They're not bots. They're just all me and my alternate personalities.
Yeah, my 6 phones.
Yeah. Wait a second, Kaylin. Last time I checked, you had 4. Where'd the...
Got a few new.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So, anyway, what are we doing tonight, Hunter?
We're watching movies. I thought we've already established this.
No, we already watched movies.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. What? We got 3 movies to watch tonight, and the first one is one I didn't see, so you have to kind of introduce it.
So, Kaylin, why don't you introduce this movie, because it's the one you picked.
It's the one she picked.
This is my favorite movie. Well, not my favorite movie, but it's pretty close to being my favorite movie. It's called Killer Sofa.
What? What? You repeat it again. Repeat the title again, very slowly.
Killer Sofa.
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just say I was very intrigued when she said, "Oh, this is a movie I want to talk about." I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm intrigued.
Can I just read you the description that it has when you look at it on Prime Video?
Oh please, oh please.
Go for it.
It says, when a lazy boy chair falls in love with a girl, and a disgraced Jewish rabbi and detectives to figure out how to stop the bloody carnage that follows.
That's pretty good sum up. I don't even know why we're here.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so a lazy boy sofa falls in love with a
No, a lazy boy chair sofa. This is a single seater.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it's called sofa.
It's not a f***ing sofa. Yeah.
It should be called Killer Chair.
That doesn't sound interesting though.
Yeah, but I guess Killer Sofa.
Sounds better.
To be honest, I when I was looking this movie up on Amazon, I typed in Killer Couch, and I'm like, this isn't right. And then I was like, I looked it up online, and it's like Killer Sofa. I'm like,
There's a subtle difference.
Yes.
Apparently.
So the thing I found funny about this movie was that when I first heard their accents, I'm like, oh, it's in Australia. And then I heard them mention New Zealand. I was like, oh.
Oh, I'm racist.
Oh shit! They're gonna kill the New Zealanders. Are gonna kill me now.
So yes. What is this movie?
This movie is an experience.
Yes.
So let's start at the beginning, Kaylin.
Oh gosh, the beginning.
Yeah.
How in depth do we want to get here? Because I took 6 or 7 pages of notes here. I basically detailed the entire plot.
Okay, I'm glad. Kaylin takes notes like me. I actually went a bit soft on this one because I was too engaged with the movie sometimes to even write notes, and then I had to go back.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But let's just start with the torture chamber.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So we open on this guy, which we'll find out later is another person. But anyways, so there's this guy, and he's obviously like sliced open his hand or something because it's dripping blood, and he's just dripping blood over this picture of this girl. And there's like this like muttering, and there's candles, and it's some kind of dark ass ritual going on. And then next thing we know, he's tied up and gagged, and this guy's chopping off his limbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his blood just splatters over the woman's picture.
Yeah.
And then we quickly cut to three Randys. Three Randys coming in. They enter the torture chamber. And they see...
I didn't remember the torture chamber. I think it was just... there's a lot of scenes in this movie where it's just really dark and red lighting.
Well, I mean, there's chains and stuff hanging up around. I'm going to call it a torture dungeon.
Okay.
And they find a lazy boy chained up on a wall.
Oh my god.
And you just... I really wish you knew what this chair looked like.
No.
Okay, Hunter.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen you know what a lazy boy is, right?
I guess so.
Okay, they're the recliners.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how they usually have those two buttons in the middle of the back?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
imagine those, but they're like popping out and they look like eyes.
It's a Pee-wee Playhouse type bullshit. Oh my god.
Kind of is. But it doesn't have a mouth.
Okay, alright.
It kind of has a mouth.
But it's not a visible.
The chair kind of looks like a mouth. But
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it. I can't decide if it looks cute
Funny.
and adorable, or funny, or grumpy. It just... Because there's so much emotion on its face.
You can just put any emotion on its face.
Exactly. Yeah, any emotion just crosses its face because it has, like, no emotion.
What the f*** am I looking at?
Did you look it up?
He looks like, have you ever seen that gif of the weird bread thing with, like, the pudgy mouth? It looks like that.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like an old, like, retired Michelin man.
So then we get the opening credits with a woman dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy leering at her. He's important later.
Yeah.
Because this is like his setup, and then he comes in 40 or 50 minutes later as an important thing.
Yeah.
So then the dancing lady, aka Francesca, is informed by two cops about the dead man.
Just remember their names, Ethan.
Oh, their names...
Bob Gravy.
Yep.
And Roseanne Grape.
Is this Pee-wee's Playhouse?
No, this is, and then, so, there's a great bit where, there's a great line where Francesca says, these guys aren't weirdos, they're just dedicated. I'm like, they sound like simps to me.
I'm fucking obsessed with her. But yeah, so what you get from that bit is that the guy in the beginning who is all blood chanting over the picture and then getting chopped up, his name's what is it, like it's something else with Frederico. It's Frederico.
He's
and,
like a Satanist.
Yeah, and he used to be friends with Francesca. He wanted to be more than friends because that's just how guys are with her. They're obsessed with her.
Yeah, we learned in depth that this isn't just a regular woman. This woman has an enchantment of
guys
obsession.
just get obsessed over her. But yeah.
Except the boyfriend.
Yeah, except her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's not obsessed with her because he's gay.
Wait, what? Okay, all right.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to that.
I guess so.
So then, I found this really funny. She's still talking to the cops, and then she's like, all right, I have to go. I'm getting furniture delivered. And then the cops ask, what kind of furniture? And I'm like thinking, if this was any other movie, this would be weird, but it makes sense in a killer couch movie. So, and then back with the Randys, they're trying to get it down from the chains. And somehow, and one of them's got like their hand up inside of it.
Carry
and then
stuff.
Yeah, and then the lazy boy like bites down on her hand and rips some skin off.
Her finger off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some.
And there's like screaming and.
How's the gore? Was it like was it a prosthetic?
Yeah, it was prosthetic.
Hey, that's good.
There's not much gore in this movie, so. You know.
Yeah, surprisingly, there's really not that much gore. Like, there's really not.
I think this was probably one of the gorier scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we meet I called him Old Man, but I later learned he's a rabbi. He's Old Man Rabbi.
Okay.
Yeah, his name's Jack, actually.
Jack. Oh, Jack is with us. So I love how we're introduced to him. He's grooming his beard.
Yeah. He's just sitting there combing his beard.
And then so the recliner, the evil recliner, is accidentally delivered to his place by mistake, and he senses something wrong with it. Something's off with it.
Wait,
so
a question.
Yes. Yes.
So this sofa, right? Is it evil because
Yes.
it was in the torture chamber getting tortured?
No.
No, you'll
is
find
it-
out, bud.
Okay, it gets revealed later on.
You'll find out, bud.
Okay, got it. I'll shut up.
So then he touches it and gets a vision of the past.
Yeah, there's like this like he puts his hand on it and he's like seeing these visions. He sees Frederico in the beginning with the blood and the chanting, and he sees this girl in like a white dress running through trees, and somebody's chasing her and she's in trouble or something like that.
Okay.
And then he like passes out on the pavement, and when a guy delivering the sofa's like, "Whoa, dude!" and he's like trying to wake him up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine. It just must be the heat. You can go now."
It's like, oh, you don't want an ambulance? No, I'm fine. I nearly had a heart attack. So then we meet TJ, the gay boyfriend of Francesca.
Okay.
Honestly, I wouldn't know he's gay unless they kept saying, "Oh, he's gay."
No. There's one moment where she kisses him on the cheek, and he kind of looks weirded out by that. He's like, why? What? He's like, ugh.
Why are they together in the first place? If it's...
She says that it's because he's the only guy that isn't obsessed with her.
Oh my god! So she picks a gay guy. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, the only good guys in the world are gay guys. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. You guys are great.
So then we get the scene with the old man Rabbi Jack, and he talks about what the was it called?
A
dubuk?
Yeah, the debunk. Yeah. Apparently, it's like, he's looking up like on like this, I guess, like psychic website or whatever, and oh, the lovely psychic. Oh, it's great. Like, it's sort of like this occult stuff. And anyways, he finds out that the chair is like a possessed spirit called a debuk.
Okay.
It's like a possessed spirit basically, and it like kills people and consumes their souls.
So this demon could have been anything, but it chose a lazy boy chair.
I can't remember.
It's supposed to be attached to a human spirit, supposedly.
Oh, so he attaches to a couch. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it all will make sense in time.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
you'll learn more.
So then we get the classic fake out. Oh yeah, then the lazy boy is put into Francesca's house. It's of course the furniture she's getting.
Yeah.
Of course.
So then, while it's in her house, she and her gay boyfriend goes out on a night with the boys to do gay stuff.
Oh, Ethan, I think this is probably a point that should just be made for clarification for who everybody is. So the rabbi, old guy, the reason the chair got delivered to him is because his granddaughter is Maxie, which is Francesca's best friend.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So yeah.
So then we get the classic fake out scene where she goes into the shower, and then it's just the best friend. It's not the killer sofa.
Yeah, she's like, it's like tense music, and she's all scared, and then her friend jumps out of.
Haha, you thought I was a killer couch, you dumbass.
Okay, and then I wrote this note of, this movie is oddly serious. I was expecting a joke, but I'm getting a real movie. That might change.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I think I usually don't like movies that take themselves seriously and they're just dumb. I usually don't find it funny. I'm like, okay, seriously? But this movie, it was a serious horror movie.
Yeah,
And
it was
so
really
fucking hilarious because it was like
fucking chair.
it was bad.
It may have been
It's about a fucking chair.
that may have
but
been the comedy of it. They take it so seriously, and it's a sofa.
I'd call it a horror. I'd say
That's
it's a
what made
horror
it really
comedy.
funny.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then we get what I'm gonna call the weirdest scene in the movie, where she sits on the chair, and it's like she's
Yes.
getting sexual pleasure out of sitting on the chair.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's like not touching herself at all. She's just caressing the arms of the chair, and again, it's one of those like really darkly lit
With a red light.
Oh, red room.
Light, but it's dark, and it's just this red light, this harsh red light, and she sits down in the chair with this tea, and then she puts down the tea and turns on some like sensual dark music, and then she's like starts feeling up the chair, and she's all like, oh, and then she just wakes up in bed, and she's like, what the
And then we see the ghost of the old man Rabbi Jack saw in his dream right above the
Yes.
chair.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So, and then when she wakes up in her bed after her night of pleasure with the chair, there's
Yeah.
a trail of candles leading to the chair.
Oh my god. Okay.
and some freshly baked cookies on the arm of the chair, which of course she goes, oh my god, my boyfriend's so nice, he did this for me.
Oh,
And then
okay.
she walks in.
He doesn't understand.
He's all, thank you. Oh my god, thank you for understanding a girl's needs. And he's like,
What?
you're welcome. And he goes and he takes a bite of cookie, and then he goes to put it down.
The
But
sofa
chair's
ate it.
moved. He can't go to grab another cookie. And he's like staring like, what the fuck? And she's like, babe, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, I just must be drunker than I thought. And it's like, the chair,
Okay.
the chair.
And then the cops from the beginnings are investigating the murder of the guy who got cut up at the beginning of the movie,
Yep.
and they question Francesca again.
Yeah.
And there was a pretty funny bit, and I'm not gonna lie, this was very funny, where they ask, did you know he was into voodoo? And she's like, no. And then they look at like a screen, and it's got a voodoo doll of her, and then they're just like, they don't bring it up to her at all.
Oh yeah, and then they're like, have you been feeling okay physically? And she's like, yeah, why do you ask? And then it like shows the voodoo doll picture of her again, and they're like,
No reason.
no reason.
And then she brings up this is when she explains that like guys get obsessed with her, and I just wrote down, she's got an army of simps.
What's the power? Why does she get men's all the time?
This
We don't know. It's a mystery.
Oh,
right now.
okay.
And then
We'll find out.
we get the first action by the sofa, the couch, the chair.
Wait, hold on. Wait, the chair gets action?
The chair already got action.
Okay,
And
well,
she's
not
out.
that action.
No, so up to this point, we really haven't seen the chair really doing anything other than maybe mysteriously moving a foot, but we haven't actually really seen the chair do anything.
Okay.
This is
Now.
what something.
Well, she's getting questioned by the cops, talking to them. TJ's at the house. And I don't know, is he at like the oven, I think?
Yeah, he's at
And,
the
yeah. And the chair just kind of scrapes behind him. And he's like, what the hell? And then the chair just like charges at him.
it gets it reclines
Yeah,
itself.
the foot of the recliner is like straight out. It
Oh
just
yeah, and like the
leg.
oven door is down as well. This is important.
Yes. Yeah, and so it crushes his leg between the oven door and
The recliner.
extended recliner bit. And he's just like screaming in agony and trying to get out of there.
and they come home and they find him
Yeah.
in the tub bloody, but he's not dead.
Yeah, I think because he called her, he like got out and escaped into the bathroom and climbed into the tub and called her, and so her and the cops were with her, right?
Yeah,
They got there, and he's bleeding in the tub, and he's like, ah.
And they're like, yeah, he said the chair did it, but we don't believe that.
Yeah,
If it's a
insisting.
rational choice.
I mean, who the would?
Right? Like, what else happened?
This
Like,
chair
you know,
has done some
his
shit.
ass.
And then the rabbi calls his father about the book, and his father doesn't believe shit, despite him also having the gift.
Yeah, I think his father, like, understands everything and, like, believes in everything, but, like,
He's just like, I don't believe in you.
He's all like, you're not qualified for any of this, you shouldn't even be called a rabbi, blah, 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 blah. He's like, clearly his father has some serious issues with him. And he's just like, you oughta just leave everything alone.
And
Get hurt if you intervene, just let it
and our
run its
rabbi's
course.
like, no, I'm doing this.
I gotta deal with this. I gotta make sure no one gets hurt.
And then gay boyfriend is at his mother's house to hide from the lazy boy.
Yeah.
And then he looks out the window, and there it is.
Oh, motherfucker.
The chair is on the street staring up at him with those beady black eyes and expressionless face. And he's like trying to get away, and he tries to shut the window,
and it grabs him with springs
through the window. And he's like screaming for help and trying to hobble away on his crutches. But his mother is in another room meditating with some headphones in, listening to some meditation video or something, so she doesn't hear anything.
Oh,
And
God.
the chair climbs in the window, and I think it crushes his skull in and eats his soul.
Yes.
Wow. Wait, do you see the eating of the soul? Like,
Yes,
is there like
you
a...
do.
Yeah, you see like a bright light. You don't see the head crushing. You see like the spring above his face about to come down, and then it like crushes it.
That was a pretty good transition.
Yeah, it was a really good transition. Yeah.
I wrote down, so it goes from, like, it's a POV shot of the spring coming down on him, and then it cuts to someone smashing something with a hammer.
Okay.
I think it was an egg with a hammer.
Yeah.
And I think it was, back at, like, the rabbi's place, and it's, like, the woman that's there, I think, is that his girlfriend? I don't know. And
So then, that's his girl. Yeah, that's his girlfriend. She's
she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we learn a few other things about a Dubek from the online guy.
And can I just say, the dude online, I just can't get over his hand movements. He's talking, he just keeps moving his hands, and it's like repeated motions. It's like out in front of him all spooky, and then up to his face, and then like, oh my god, it's just repetitive motion, and it's great. It's wonderful. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
We learn that you never interrupt a Dubek when it's feeding. So
Yes.
it's a lot like your cat and dog. Don't fuck with it when it's feeding.
All right, don't f your dog when it's eating. Got it.
No,
Okay.
that's not what he said. I mean, don't do that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Wait, Kaylin,
Don't
wait a
ever
second.
do that.
Wait a second.
Don't elaborate on this, Ethan. Continue.
So, yeah. So, the old man and his girlfriend go hunting for the recliner, because he knows the recliner is evil.
Yeah.
And then, we get a bit of a weird scene, and probably the closest thing to a legitimately scary scene to me. Because whenever the sofa's involved, it's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's always funny when it's...
But, like, this time, she, like, Francesca's at home alone.
Yeah.
And she gets up, and then she finds, like, some of her clothes on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, you know, a flash of light happens, and then she sees someone's in her bathroom.
Yeah, like a figure of a person in the bathroom. And so she does what anyone in any horror movie would do, which is not the obvious thing, which is run for your life screaming. She goes, "Who's
Into the
that?"
bath.
And goes into the bathroom.
And then, to push this even further, she finds the window open, and she doesn't close it. She looks out that, and it's the dark abyss out there.
Yeah. You know.
Like any sensible human being. You know, you grab your lantern and you go out when you hear a disturbance.
Exactly.
And then doesn't she wake up again after that? Or am I thinking of another scene?
Then she hears a sound, and she looks at the sofa and she sees it move.
Oh yeah.
So that makes her call her friend over.
Yeah, because
Maxie.
she sees it turns and it, the chair turns and looks at her and she like screams this beautiful terrified scream. And then calls her friend Maxie. Maxie comes over and they talk about it and Maxie's like, oh, well, you can come stay at my house.
And then... Wait, and then...
She was like, why didn't you go stay over at TJ's? And she's like, I went over there and I knocked, but no one answered. Yeah, because TJ did.
And I love this when they leave the house to get into Maxie's car. It's just the it's on the balcony.
Wait, what the hell happened?
They're getting in Maxie's car to go to Maxie's house, and the fucking chair is just sitting on the roof, just staring down at them like, where are you taking her, Maxie?
Oh
like,
my God.
It looks like it's just judging her so hard.
So then we cut back to TJ's place when his mom is vacuuming, and I have got to admit, this was a pretty cool way to discover a dead body.
Yes, I love this scene. It's amazing.
So, go for it. Explain it.
Okay, so the mom's just vacuuming down the hall, and she's got like a vacuum with like a long hose on it, and then like the reservoir part is like a clear container, so you can kind of like see the dirt and stuff in it. And she knocks on TJ's door, and she's like, TJ, I need to come in to vacuum. And he doesn't answer, of course, because he's dead.
Yeah.
And she opens the door, but I guess like the vacuum cord
It wasn't long enough.
or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't long enough, so it came loose a little bit. So she leans the vacuum down into the door a little bit further and goes back to the cord to re-plug it back in. And when she plugs it back in, it starts sucking up all this slushy, fleshy stuff, and then an eyeball appears in the little chamber. And it's great.
Oh, that's pretty clever, actually.
Yeah. And then
Pretty cool.
and then we get Ralph.
Oh, Ralph.
Ralph is the worst.
Yes. So basically Francesca gets a
Remember
message from Inspector Gravy telling her to come down.
Inspector Gravy?
Detective Gravy.
Detective
That makes it better.
and Gravy.
Inspector Gravy.
And telling her to come down because TJ's been found dead, so they need to talk about this. And when she's leaving her house, she runs into Ralph.
Who's the guy leering at her before?
Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah. So we know this guy's been being creepy for a while. And he's been begging her to marry him and stuff, and he's like being all creepy. And Ralph
he has a really creepy line where he says, "I have strong bones. That'll make strong babies." I'm like,
yeah, and she's like, "Babies? I'm too young to have babies. No thanks." But Ralph is Maxie's cousin, actually, so like that's how they know each other. And he's kind of just like a real creep, and he's like, screw off and leaves.
Yeah. So she leaves, but then he reaches into her mail slot and unlocks her door.
Yep. He just walks into her house.
And we
probably done about 1 billion times before.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
Yeah.
Because
that's not creepy.
Yeah. And then Franny is questioned by the police of who could have killed these two. Who could have done this? And then she's like, Ralph could have done it.
Could have been Ralph. He's definitely crazy.
Well, I mean, they kind of go to the conclusion of like, both of these two men that died were interested in Franny romantically or sexually, and they're like, well, it could be someone who is jealous of them. Ralph's a suitable suspect.
Definitely is. Since he's kind of a creeper.
Wow.
And obsessed with her like every other guy.
That's racist. Can't be racist against creepy guys.
Yeah, the race of creepy guys.
Yeah, Ethan, you should know. You're like the rally leader.
No, I'm the rally leader of short guys.
Well, only on Wednesdays.
No, wait, I can't lead the rally. I'm too short. I get lost in the crowd.
You beat the short joke.
I think Ethan's the rally leader of cat people.
I'm okay with that. No, I'm not actually. Never mind.
So then we're back with Ralph in her house, and he just used the bathroom. Like, what a dick.
What an actually
you're
asshole.
at someone's house and you gotta go.
I mean, it's just a little fun detail that we find him coming out of the bathroom. And then I don't know, what the hell does he do up against the wall? It seems like he took something out of a...
I think he's replacing video cameras and bugs put in there.
Oh, right, the video cameras. And then the camera, while he's doing that, the camera then pans over to show the recliner, and it's looking at him. And it's not like, okay, you know how a chair has the back part.
Chair.
Has the back. No, yeah.
Oh, I know chair.
You know how a chair has the back part?
Yeah, like every chair.
Chairs do.
Yeah, where you rest your back. That's the part that's looking at him, not the bottom part, just the back part. So it's like his neck is turned towards.
Oh
him.
my god.
It only gets more deliciously creepy with the chair from there.
And then he walks past it. And then it just looks at him again. It just tilts its head to look at him.
It's like, what the f*** are you doing?
Who are you? And then this guy, honestly, is creepier than the fucking recliner by what he does. Kaylin, why don't you explain what he does?
So he goes into her bedroom, and he just casually picks up a bra and slings it over his shoulder. And then he grabs like a hat from her closet, and he just plops them down on the bed. And then he climbs onto the bed, and then he throws the blankets over himself. And I don't know what the f*** he's doing under there. Okay?
Well, he's definitely making some sort of thrusting motion.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like it's not in any realm of normal. He's like hunched over it under the blankets, and he's like, "You're Francesca! You're Francesca! Oh, Francesca!"
And thank God the recliner comes in.
Yes, the recliner saves us from this madness as it comes into the room and it picks up an iron. I don't know what it picks up this iron with. But it picks it up and it just clunks him over the head with it.
So, to be fair, I'm gonna call the recliner a good guy in this situation.
In this situation, yes, it rid her house of the creepy guy.
So now Francesca is set up in a motel.
Yes.
And she demands Maxie to check on the recliner.
Yeah, she wants Maxie to check on the recliner.
Specifically.
Yes. Yeah, she wants to make sure that the recliner is okay.
And it doesn't have a demon in it, you know.
Well, it seems like she's starting to get some sort of attachment to that recliner.
Oh, because of her sexual awakenings in it.
Yes. Okay, so then Detective Gravy is watching a satanic review of a sword. It got 4.5 satanic symbols out of 5.
What the? Wait, hold on, wait.
And then
it's like Newgrounds. You just rate it.
And then his female partner, Detective Grape, comes in, and he explains his wife left him, and then his partner asks, "You want to come over to my place?" And then he declines the offer, and they spot the recliner in the satanic
You mean
video.
he reclines the offer?
Shouldn't have funny by the good chap.
Oh, I get it. Okay, that is funny. Never mind.
But see, this is where, like, you know, in the beginning of this whole thing, I said the description, and it said the broken-hearted detectives. So we're getting the feel here that Grape's in love with Gravy, but Gravy's broken-hearted.
But as we all know, grapes don't go well with gravy.
But Gravy is slowly growing up an obsession to Francesca.
Yes, Gravy is getting obsessed with Francesca because, you know, that's what all guys do.
Yeah, all straight guys.
All straight guys. And I'm guessing lesbian women.
Yeah,
So,
a couple of them.
so then, Maxie gets told by her grandfather, the rabbi,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
about the recliner, the evilness of the
Yeah,
recliner.
because he was trying to he was talking to his girlfriend, and they were trying to figure out who had the chair, who had gotten the chair, because they're in danger. And he was saying that it was delivered to someone named Francesca, and she was like, well, isn't Maxie's friend named Francesca? And he's like, no, that's not her name. It's like, what did he think it was, like Pauline or something like that?
Something like that.
Something completely random. But so they called Maxie anyways to get her to come over to talk to her about it. And and he's like, your friend Pauline, and she's like, who's Pauline? And his girlfriend's like, Francesca, and she's like, yeah, Francesca, she got the chair, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just, so there's some evil shit going on with the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to investigate.
Yeah, she's like, I'll go look at the chair. She's going over there to go get the chair. Like, honestly, I think isn't that what she said? She's like, I'll get the chair. Like, she thinks she's gonna get the chair.
Yeah, like, number one, if this was a normal chair, I don't even know if she could carry that thing.
Like, TJ struggled getting it into the house. It took 3 people to move it, and it almost took somebody's finger off. It's one damn hard chair to move. But anyway, she thinks she's gonna go get it, and...
Well, I mean, she could probably just shoot it, but,
Yeah, that too. I don't think she has a gun with her.
Well, it's New Zealand. I don't know what their gun was.
Yeah, I don't know what the gun was.
So, when she gets to Francesca's house, she finds the recliner throwing Ralph from the balcony.
Yes! She walks in and she sees on the balcony, she sees Ralph's body just laying there, and then it just gets dragged. And so she goes and she peeks her head out, and she just sees the chair picking him up and heaving him over the balcony.
How is he, with the springs? He's picking up with the springs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of heaved him up into the chair, and then it just like forward.
Oh, okay.
And this is the thing. The effects aren't bad, and even if they are bad, they're very good at filming it so it doesn't look bad.
That's good.
Yeah, it's...
So then it spots her and it gives chase.
Yes, it chases her, and she drops her keys on the floor.
She runs into the bathroom.
Runs in the bathroom and locks the door, so she's safe for now.
But it starts busting in.
Yeah, so she's got to get out of there. So there's the bathroom window. And so she goes to climb out the bathroom window, and you see the chairs watching her through, like, the
keyhole or whatever.
Keyhole in the bathroom door. And so it keeps switching between, like, her trying to climb out the window and the chair watching her through the door hole. And then you just see her jump, and she, like, falls head
into a green bin.
Trash can, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it closes. And you're like, oh no. Maxie, what's happened to Maxie?
She dead?
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, and then I started noticing that, like, a lot of characters are popping pills in this movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why is, like, what's Francesca, like, popping? Like, is she...
I don't know. It's like...
It never says, like...
Great. One of the detectives asked...
Or anything.
Yeah, one of them asked, like, what are these pills? And she's like, I've been taking them since I was a child. I'm like, well, what pills are they?
Yeah, and then it's like, but they've never said what they're for. She's just taking them, like,
It's Advil.
It creates an aroma that attracts men to her.
Maybe it's like anxiety from that, because, like, men are so obsessed over her, so she takes medication to ease her mind. I don't know.
Then, while Franny's in her motel room, she starts hearing something from the sink.
Yeah, she's hearing Valerie.
That was really creepy, because it... okay, yeah, keep going.
And we see the chair over in her house whispering, Valerie.
And it's just doing it into the sink.
So the fucking sofa's whispering into the sink, and
she's hearing it through the sink at the motel.
Yes.
That's some weird voodoo shit.
Demonic couch powers.
So then the cops just are in the motel room, and she bashes
The
her
door
head
was
on
open.
the fucking. Yeah, well, yeah, the door. Yeah, he explains the door was open. Why was the door open?
I don't know.
But my favorite part is like they fucking sneak up on her by just doing the classic. Instead of saying, "Hey, what are you doing?"
They put her
they-
hands on her shoulder
and she freaks out and she bashes her head on the freaking drain on
on the faucet.
the faucet.
There you go.
Right.
So-
And for like the rest of that scene, she's like rubbing the back of her head in pain, and I'm just like, God, that was was that intentional?
It was all part of the couch's plan. Don't you worry.
And then they go to Francesca's house. As you can see, a lot of this movie takes place at one house.
Yes, which is always
Yeah.
a good sign of a good horror movie.
And when they get there, everything seems normal. The chair isn't doing anything.
Now it's just sitting there. It's being a good chair.
It's being a chair. And then they find Ralph in the dumpsters. They
Yeah,
don't find Maxie.
because they're looking for Maxie, right? Because her chair. My God, where's her car?
Her chair.
Her car is still outside Franny's
And her-
house. And she finds her keys on the floor. So they're like, why don't you give her another call? And so they call her, and her phone's ringing from outside. So they go outside to go look for her, and
Yeah.
they climb down, and they find Ralph, his body down there where the chair so graciously dumped him over the side of the railing.
Yeah.
And so, of course, that's where they give up Buck looking for Maxie at this point. They
And
found
then but Franny's inside all alone, and then the chair starts moving and talking.
Oh shit! Wait, it
Yeah.
talks?
it
What?
starts turning towards her, and it's like, Valerie.
Oh wait, we knew it talks. Never mind.
Yeah. And so, of course, she does the most thrilling, wonderful horror movie scream. You know
Yeah.
that horror movie scream.
Yeah.
Amazing scream.
You know,
And bolts.
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised she actually got out of there. And then when she looks up, she sees the chair. And was that the ghost of Ralph standing next to it?
Yes, I believe it was the ghost of Ralph standing next to the
Oh
chair.
my god.
So
And the
then,
window, yeah,
finally.
and she screams, and she jumps into Maxie's car,
and just bolts. She leaves the cops behind.
and they're like,
Oh,
"Oh shit!"
And then finally, Franny meets Old Man Rabbi Jack.
Finally.
Yeah, she's like standing out on some cliffs and stuff, staring out, all like,
It was a beautiful shot. I mean, it's New Zealand. It looks beautiful.
and then, yeah, old man,
Rabbi.
or not Ralphie Jack, yeah.
Ralphie Jack. So then,
wasn't a good idea.
this is when I figured out he was a rabbi, because I either they said it earlier and I didn't hear it, or they
I
didn't
think
say it earlier.
when he was on the phone with his dad, he was like, "You don't deserve to be a rabbi," but it was like one utterance of the word.
Yeah.
But like that, he has a mug that says, "Trust me, I'm a rabbi."
Oh. Okay.
I love it.
So then we finally get the backstory of what the is going on.
Please.
So, Kaylin, please explain the illustrious, wonderful
I'm gonna say
backstory
spoilers
to this
now.
demonic chair.
Hey,
Spoiler
let's,
sound. This is
find my notes.
spoilers, and that's the sound. There you go.
Make
This
make
is-
your
I'm-
spoiler alert sound.
Okay.
I mean, this is, to be fair, this is a pretty recent movie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it here again. There you go. That's the sound.
All right.
All right. Spoil away.
So she tells him about hearing the chair saying Valerie, and so he remembers from that vision that he had that the woman running in the woods was named Valerie.
Mhm.
And so they look it up on this the psychic website, and they find so that there was a couple in the what was it, like the 1800s, I think.
Yeah.
Valerie and Gerard, and they practiced witchcraft, and they poisoned people with this flower. I don't know what the flower was called, but it is a poisonous flower.
Okay.
And so they got chased and hunted by a mob, which is the vision that he saw of her getting chased in the woods.
Yeah.
Gerard was killed, you see.
Yes.
But Valerie killed herself in front of a peasant woman named Marie Saint Clair, which, wow,
By
that's
sheer
Francesca's
coincidence.
great-great-grandmother. What? So
And-
there we go.
And that leaves Saint Marie de Clare, cursed for men to fight over her physically and sometimes kill for her.
Yeah,
So that explains why Franny is got that power.
So Francine
she was possessed by Valerie's spirit when Valerie killed herself in front of her, and so Valerie's spirit passed on through the generations, and that's why Francesca has such an alluringness to men.
Oh my God, why do you like me so much? I don't know, you have this sense of a dead woman inside you. Every guy drives through that.
So what these two want is they want to take bodies to possess so that they can be together again.
Okay.
Yes. And so you see, they assume that the spirit of Gerard is possessing the chair, and that's why she feels so drawn towards it, and it's doing all this, because Gerard and Valerie want to be together. And so they figure that Frederico must have summoned the spirit, but it doesn't quite make sense because the book is supposed to be clinging to Frederico's body.
Not the chair.
But Frederico's dead. They found body parts.
So then we get this awesome scene of Detective Gravy. He's in his car and he's looking at a picture of Francesca, and Detective Grape is outside the car and she's looking at Detective Gravy. And it's just two people looking longingly at other
people.
And then, so the plan is to get the Dubuque out of the thing, put the spirit in a box, and burn that box. Now, if that sounds like something like Yzma would make from The Emperor's New Groove, it totally is.
Put that box inside of a box, and then that box inside of a box, and I'll mail it to myself, and I'll smash it to pieces!
So then, Francesca has a dream.
Yes.
Of Valerie in her head, and it's a bit of a trippy sequence, but when she wakes up, old man Rabbi Jack is having a heart attack.
Oh no.
Yes.
And she asks how she can help, and he's reaching out for pills, and he's like, and then she's like, the box? And she's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this. She runs away with the box, and he's just still reaching for the pills, dying.
And his girlfriend comes in, and she's like, Jack! And runs to him, and he's trying desperately to get the pills.
And she doesn't get the pills.
Yeah, she's calling 911, and he's laying on the couch behind
and he's still reaching for the pills.
He's reaching for the aspirin. And it's like, give him the fucking aspirin. So, you know, when you're having a heart attack, you should chew 2 aspirins.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
So then, Detective Grape is, where the hell is she? This is when the cameras get revealed.
Oh yeah, so she goes to, Ralph's place.
Yeah.
And she, finds on his computer, all this footage of Francesca's house that he's recorded and saved on his computer, and finds that it's still recording.
Oh, okay. So that's how they...
see the chair moving in the recording, and she goes to be like, what the f***, and she goes to go check it out? Or, yeah.
And then, then she sees live footage of Franny in there with the chair.
Yes.
And then we get another great comedic moment when she walks up to the chair, throws the box down, and says, "Get in there!" And the chair's like, "No."
Yeah. Okay. So she runs in there with this box, and she puts it down in front of it. She's like, "Get in the box! Get in the box! Get in the box!" And the chair's just like, "No." And she's like screaming. She's like, "Get in the box!" And she charges it with the gasoline, and she's just
douses it
in gasoline.
And then she pulls out a match.
And she lights the match, and she's staring at like, "Bitch, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
It blows out the fucking match?
And then she tries again and just...
Oh my
God. And then she tries again and... and then this is when the movie finally leans into its ridiculous premise.
Hell yeah.
And then the recliner stands up. Fully. It's standing up.
It's little recliner, like the recliner bit that comes out, that's its feet. It stands up. It's all straight and stood up. And
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And then Detective Gravy comes in with a fucking gun and he shoots it.
Yeah, because Gravy was talking to the guy who did the chopping in the beginning. I don't know how the fuck he found him.
I don't
know. But anyways, he was talking to him. He's like, "Why'd you try to leave?" And it's like, "Well, I don't," and he's like, "Because you killed
such and such, Frederico."
Yeah, Frederico. And he's like, I didn't kill him. And he's like, "We found his body, like his body parts." And he's like, "But he's not dead. He asked me to chop off his legs, but I left him alive, I swear." And it comes out that you see Frederico wanted to be put into the chair. And then that's when, of course, Gravy's like, "The chair!" And so he goes there, and then he sees it, and shoots it. And the chair, like, falls off Frederico's body, which doesn't have a face on it for some reason. I don't know why he's faceless, too.
Well,
but,
because then we learn he's been dead.
Yes, it is true, because he's been dead, yeah. But yeah, and so then he, like, shoots Frederico's
He shoots the corpse in the head.
Yeah, he shoots the corpse in the head.
Just in case.
And that takes it down. Takes it down. And then... So then Francesca flees and Tara into the bathroom.
Yes.
And then we get the twist.
The twist? There's a fucking twist in this movie?
Yes!
Something twists in this movie.
So then she's trying to pop pills again, and in her desperation, they just fly all across the ground, and she's going to reach one on the ground, and then out from, like, what was it, the closet of the bathroom?
Yeah, like the bathroom, like cupboard.
A fucking zombie girl hand grabs Francesca.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it devours her soul.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Maxie comes out of the green bin that she fell in.
Yeah, Maxie just randomly comes out of the green
I fucking called that she was alive the moment she fell in.
She's got this hunk of glass just sticking out of her forehead, but they're all like standing around in the living room, and she walks in, and they're like, "It's over. He was in the chair."
Yeah. And then the Detective Grape, she's like, "You all right there? You're right there in Francesca." And then she comes in, and then everything seems fine. Everything.
You know,
no zombie girl.
No zombie girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Francesca seems perfectly fine.
Okay.
And then we get the scene where Francesca invited Detective Gravy for dinner.
Yeah, they're on a date.
Oh, now it's a romance movie.
Those noises.
Do they have a sex?
No, they don't.
No. But she's like all like prettied up. She's got like a nice smoky eye and bright red lips, and she's got
a nice dress on.
Yeah, she's looking all like sultry and sexy.
Yeah. And then that's when Grape learns that the guy in the recliner, he's been dead for weeks.
Yeah, so she's at the office or the police department or wherever.
The morgue. They're at the morgue.
Yes, and she gets a call. And it's the guy who did the autopsy, and he's like, "There's been a mistake with the time of death. Like, this guy's been dead for weeks." And she's like, "What do you mean there's been a mistake? I was there when he was shot." And he's like, "Nah, man, this guy's been dead for weeks." And she's like, "Dead for weeks? But if he was dead for weeks, then how could he have been moving the chair around?"
So then she rushes off to Francesca's house.
Yeah, and we find out with Maxine. Maxine's watching more information from that psychic website with the guy with all the hand movement.
The awesome bald dude.
Yeah, we find out that the books, if the host body is unusable, they'll transfer their spirit to the nearest object to store the souls.
Oh.
So when Frederico died in the chair, I guess he bled out or whatever. Chairs really aren't the most sanitary place when you're recovering from having
starved to death.
Yeah, starved to death too. That, yeah, you know, he died in the chair.
He died.
The spirit was all like,
The chair is fine.
Into the chair. The chair will work for now until I get a new spirit to a new body host.
So then, it devours the soul of Detective Gravy.
Yeah.
No, not Gravy.
With the flower tea. Right? He's drinking this tea. He's like, this is an interesting tea I've never had. And she pours him some more, and then he starts convulsing on the floor, and he's dead. And then it's devouring the soul as Grape rushes in, and she's like,
what have you done?
What's happening? And then Franny stabs her in the back.
And she's dead.
Oh.
And she's dead. Well, she's like laying on the floor, like dying, and then Grape stands up because, boom, he's the new host for
Gravy.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Gravy. Did I say Grape?
Yeah.
I wrote down Grape too many times and then scratched it out with Gravy. I'm stupid, don't mind me. But yeah.
You know, Caitlin.
Thank you. Yeah, so Gravy stands up. He's the new host for the book. And he, like, snaps Grape's neck.
Oh,
no. He wasn't dead enough with the stab wound.
No. So then Maxie, she spots this from the window, and she watches them as the possessed leave the house. So she goes inside, and she then, you know, she finds Grape dead. She calls the police and an ambulance, and then she looks into the eye of the chair.
Yep.
And then in that eye, she sees Francesca falling, and then we see her falling slowly.
Okay.
And it just goes to black, and we get the voiceover of the guy talking, and then it just ends.
Oh, it just ends like that.
Yeah.
So that was an hour and 20 minutes of awesomeness.
Yeah.
So this was
finally Valerie and Gerard are reunited again with human bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the villains won.
That's actually kind of a cool twist. Usually the villains don't win. I like that.
So really Rabbi guy might have died from a heart attack.
I don't think he did, because in the scene where Maxie is watching the info, you see him sort of laying in the background and his girlfriend's in the background, and he doesn't.
Oh, right.
Dead,
Yeah, he's not dead, but he's okay.
He's recovering from a heart attack.
He's recovering from a heart attack.
It's a little rough.
So, you know, not many people got well off from this movie outside of the girlfriend of the rabbi, really.
Well, this seemed more of like a comedy horror than just a regular horror kind of.
Yeah, it definitely was a comedy horror.
It kind of.
There's a lot of funny little moments that we didn't specify of just lines that were funny. But
that's a part of the movie.
Yeah,
that's
like
for you to watch.
When she charged at the chair with the gasoline, she just screamed, "Die!"
It was really funny.
So, what you're telling me, a movie made in 2019 called Killer Sofa was a good movie?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I would not recommend this as a so bad it's good. I would recommend this as an actual movie.
Whoa, that's rare coming from you, Ethan.
I told Ethan I think it's like one of those so bad it's good, but he's right. It has like elements of it that it is actually just a good movie, and I think part of what I think about it is like that it's so bad it's good is that like
it's a chair.
It's a chair. Like what?
They treat the chair seriously.
It's a good movie. It's a horror movie about a freaking chair that kills people. What about that is good? It has to be so awful that it's good, but like it's got some pretty good freaking shit in it.
Just to God, expecting everyone to be, you know, when I heard the title and, you know, the premise, I was expecting something like Sharknado.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, on the level of Sharknado. But
or like
what
Killer
I got,
Bong or something like that.
What the fuck?
Have you never heard of Killer Bong?
No, my fire alarm's going off. I gotta go check that out.
We'll go check that out, Ethan.
Kaylin, keep talking.
Yeah,
Kaylin, keep... Oh, the pressure. Kaylin, keep talking. All I can ever do is talk, but then when
it's fine. Either I'll cut this out. Well, okay. Well, I mean, there could be funny things happening right now. Usually I add like funny. Kaylin, do you want me to add something in post?
Sure, as long as it's actually funny.
Okay, so this now you're talking to Future Hunter. So
I'm talking to Hunter. Hi, Future Hunter.
What's up, Kaylin? So like, tell him what you want to be in this video.
What do I want to be in this video? Can there just be a toaster popping? Because that scares me. And then,
all right, good news. My house isn't burning down.
Okay, good.
it was a toaster.
It was a false alarm of the weirdest sense. I don't know why it was set off.
It was the fucking chair, Ethan.
It was the chair.
You
My
have
dad,
to look, Ethan.
holy shit, my dad does have a lazy boy.
Oh no!
Better throw that chair out, Ethan.
Your dad's next. So,
Oh, yeah.
I guess I
So-
gotta try and describe this film now.
Kaylin, do you want to give it a rating?
Yeah, give it a rating. You can give it a rating it.
Can I give it 4.5 demonic symbols as a 5?
Yes, you can. I'm gonna give it a solid 7. I'm gonna give it a solid.
Solid
7.
7. Wow.
Yeah, and you know how I said like 5's average to me. So.
Exactly. That's
So this is pretty good. This is like a movie that I'd watch this again.
I have watched it again now. This is my second time watching it, and I think I enjoyed it more this time because like I knew what I was going into. And
Yeah,
so-
you weren't kind of weirded out that like
Yeah.
you were like, huh, this is almost a good movie.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The first time I watched it was like the beginning of all this quarantine stuff when we were still in school, and me and Nick watched it, and we were looking for shit to watch, and it was like, okay,
This is gonna be
it was
shit.
like the middle of the night, and it was like, what the hell are we watching? But this time I went into it watching it to like really, really watch it,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's something. It's an experience.
All right, Hunter, explain this shit.
Okay. So a long time ago, in a not so far off galaxy, because it's in the same Earth as the one we're gonna be talking about, there were these two big bad witches, but one was a guy, one was a girl, so I guess a warlock and a witch, and they were like doing some magic shit, and they both died. One of them is like, I'm gonna kill myself, and my future generations are gonna be really irresistible, or something like that. And the other one's gonna be like, I'm gonna kill myself, and then
Well, he didn't kill himself. He was killed by the mob.
I'm gonna get killed by the mob and turn into shit. Years later, a rabbi sells a couch to a friend of the daughter's rabbi, and then the couch is there, and then it just goes on a killing spree, and you don't know why, and it eats souls, and it kills some creephead who installs cameras into bathrooms for some reason. And then he starts killing, and then Detective Grape and Gravy are trying to figure out why are these murders happening, and then they slowly start to find out that maybe it's not a person, maybe it's not, what was his name, like Jeff or something, Greg, Ralph. Maybe it wasn't Ralph who did it because he's a creepo. Maybe it's a couch, and it was the couch, and well, I guess chair. The chair like kills a bunch of people, sucks up an eyeball in a vacuum, and then kills the Gravy, young Gravy. Gravy gets the soul of the couch goes into Gravy, and then so that soul of the couch was one of the evil faces in the past, and the other evil face gets reborn into someone, and then they live happily ever after as the main characters falling down in darkness in a couch's eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
That's Killer Sofa.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yay.
All right. Now I'm done talking. You guys go.
Okay, so for some reason,
Hunter, please explain the movie you chose, because even I, when you just were like, this is the movie that Kaylin and I are gonna watch, and I'm picking it, I'm like, really? Are
so
you serious?
for some reason, I picked Grown Ups to watch. The first one, not the second one. The first one. And that's for specific reasons. One, because this movie's low key kind of nostalgic for me. It's one of the movies where I saw it and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. So I wanted to see it again to see if I was right. And the other reason was because you haven't seen it, Ethan.
Was this the whole? Oh god.
Those are the only two reasons, really. I didn't have any other reasons.
Oh, I was hoping the other reason was because you wanted to put Kaylin through the same torture as you.
No, because I don't think rewatching this movie, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
What torture? I love it. It's a good movie.
So this is before. Would you say this is before Adam Sandler movies became Adam Sandler movies?
No. This is the start point. This is when Adam Sandler said "F it" and created all of his vacations with his friends as movies.
Yeah, except Jack and Jill. That was something else.
I don't know. That was just marketing. That was the cappuccinos and all that. We're not fucking talking about Jack and Jill. We're talking about grown-ups.
I'd be more interested in Jack and Jill.
No, you won't. So, Adam Sandler and his ragtag group of friends. Hold on, I have the synopsis here. No, I don't. Never mind. So, Adam Sandler and his ragtag group of friends, which consists of Kevin James, David Spader, Chris Rock, Rob Schneider. And that's
just the usuals.
Yeah, the usuals.
So now, quick question: Is Adam Sandler? Did you write Adam Sandler's character, or did you just write Adam Sandler in your notes?
He plays himself. He plays the straight man. I'm like a goody two shoes. I'm the best person in the world.
Listen, the only Adam Sandler movie I think I've watched from start to finish is Happy Gilmore, and I do love that movie.
It's not Happy Gilmore. He's just playing a nice white guy.
Oh, so he's not playing an asshole?
No, he's playing a nice white guy who's rich.
I wanna see him fucking punch Bob Barker in the face.
Okay, well, that's a different movie.
You know what? It's a better movie.
All right,
I don't care what happens in this.
Let me start at the beginning of this movie. So the beginning of this movie, it shows all the characters in a basketball game when they're kids. And as the credits roll and they say the name of the actors, it shows the kid of who the actor will grow up to be. And they win the game. One of the kids says like, "Hey, your foot was over the line," but no one hears them because he's stupid. And then the coach says something like,
"Stupid Hunter," even if it's true, it's not nice.
And then the coach says at like a nice after party, he's like, "Well, I've never successfully coached a team. This is the first time I ever won. So this was a great success," and that's the only team he ever made win, which is really weird. And then we cut to like 20 years later or whatever.
30. It was 30. It specifically says 30.
30 years later,
and
we get
checker Kaylin over here.
I wrote that down. Okay, I have a few lines of notes, and then I have 30 years later.
Did you put it in big bold text?
No, actually, it's kind of small.
So
that's disappointing.
we get the rundown of what everyone's doing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler is now this like rich guy who dated a model and has like.
His name's Lenny, by the way.
Oh, he has a name?
Yes, he actually has a name. They all have names.
This is like Ruby Rose in Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. She didn't have a name. She was Ruby Rose.
Well, in these movies, they're all their actors' names basically. So.
Okay. I won't have any idea who you're talking about.
So Adam Sandler is this rich guy. Kevin James is your stereotypical funny I'm fat and I fall down character.
So Kevin James.
Yeah, he plays himself.
You could just say he's Paul Blart.
Chris Rock plays the whitest black guy in television history, movies, whatever.
Wait, he's whiter than Wayne Brady?
Yeah, he's a stay-at-home cooking parent. And he wears aprons and he loves cooking shows.
And his wife just takes that for granted, you know?
Yeah, and she's
Kaylin, I feel like you're speaking from a place of experience on that one.
Speaking from the heart
People
right
take
now.
you for granted.
Do I take my boyfriend for granted? Is that
No. That you... No.
I'm looking at Top Guns. Never mind. Hold on. I was looking at the notes for Top Gun at the moment.
Looking at Top Gun.
Let's see. I didn't write notes for this goddamn movie because it was all blur for me.
I'll be honest, I only wrote 2 pages because I was just highly invested in watching it.
David Spade plays David Spade.
Invested in grown-ups.
Yes! It's exactly my type of humor. A bunch of adults being children and being stupid.
David Spade plays David Spade, so he's like sleazy and he's like, I'm single.
So he's Cusco.
And then
So
Rob.
he's acting like Cusco, yeah.
Exactly. And then Rob Schneider plays, like
Rob
every
Schneider.
movie, not Rob Schneider. Something else.
He actually
that's
does
not
play
Rob
a guy
Schneider.
named Rob.
Oh yeah, he does play a guy named Rob.
True, in this one, his name's Rob.
But in this film, his character in this film, his gimmick is that he likes older women.
Oh.
Yeah. So that comes into
Okay.
later. So throughout this montage of you seeing
Give
the
me a
main...
second to scream goodnight at my mother.
Okay.
Goodnight!
Thank you.
Love you too!
Thank you for breaking the sound barrier. So when we
sound
see...
barrier is a speed, not a sound.
Yeah. How fast did she say that, Ethan?
Not very fast. She actually dragged it out.
Oh yeah. Well, I have the chat logs here, and I can.
You're not fucking Chris Hansen. The same dateline with Chris Hansen.
Okay. Anyway, so as we get this ragtag group of grown-ups, everyone gets
Grown-ups?
a call that the coach at the beginning of the movie has passed away. So
Oh, no.
So sad.
all them meet up in
my headphones.
in whatever in like a church or whatever for the funeral, and
yeah, whatever, a church.
yeah, I don't know. Go. What? My mom wants to say something. What do you want to
Oh,
say?
great. Everyone's parents are coming in now except mine.
Yeah, because you took out your trash earlier, so there's no reason to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying David
Ruined it.
Spade.
Yeah, I did ruin it.
Have I been saying David Spader?
Yeah, it's David Spade.
I'm so
Oh.
sad. I'm disappointed in
David
you.
Spader?
Yeah, I thought.
He's been saying David Spader. I've been listening in, and it's David Spade. Just FYI.
Well,
Oh,
I'm the editor,
oh,
Mom,
Hunter.
and I can edit out whatever mistake I do. So
He's done it
That's the
before,
way
by
of
the way.
life.
He's edited
That's
my
the way of
shit.
life.
Okay, who has heard him say David Spader?
I think I did hear him say it once.
screw you, Ethan. You're supposed to be on my side.
No, I'm not on your side.
I hear none of the mistakes Hunter makes.
Well,
That's
you're the
Kayla
one
and
that
Jack's
you're the one that
mom
couldn't
today.
hear bagel when you meant bagel.
Bagel.
Hey, hey. Bagel is a perfectly authentic way of saying that word.
That's not what Christian told us.
It's not really a acceptable way of saying it, but it's a perfectly valid way of saying it.
So as Adam Sandler and his friend
There's
group,
a lot of words wrong.
Further interruption.
So hush. We'll not get into my inability to properly speak words. Words are hard, okay? Words are hard.
so as Adam Sandler and his friends arrive to the funeral of their coach,
What hijinks do they get into?
they all go. Adam Sandler is like, "Hey, I rented a cottage for all of us because we don't see each other often, or whatever." So they all go to a cottage, but Adam Sandler's family has to go to Italy to a fashion thing because
Yeah,
they're.
they have to go to Milan because his wife's a designer and there's a fashion show and they're all going to be parading around in her new designs. So they're going to go see the fashion show. So they're not going to be staying.
But Adam Sandler doesn't like showing that he's rich. So when they have the maid out, he says that she's an exchange student and that she should go study.
Are you trying your hardest to sound like a 90s trailer of being like, but he doesn't like that?
I mean, that's what the whole movie feels like. No, do you know what the whole movie feels like? I think this explains perfectly. Kaylin, you can chime in if I'm wrong, but
Right.
But this movie feels like Adam Sandler paid some screenwriters to just write something down, and as all the friends were hanging out, shit happens in front of them, and then they just make jokes about it.
Ah.
Yep. That's about right.
That's
It's
a scene
literally,
happens. It feels so improvised. It feels like everything they're doing is just like, haha, he's peeing, and then everyone will make a pee joke, and then the scene's over.
Do
Yeah.
you think they were drunk on set?
Oh, definitely. This is a vacation movie. Of course they were.
This is a tax write-off.
This is the tax write-off.
It's like Uwe Boll making a film in Germany to get that tax money.
Hey, Uwe Boll at least has
What does he have?
interesting movie
Except-
reviews.
Yeah, he's got interesting movie views. I'll give you that.
Yeah, there we go. So hijinks ensues,
This
and
movie is hijinks.
it's just joke after joke after joke. And
Give
there's
me a joke.
Okay, I think I wrote one down.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, so this is the first thing I wrote down. So as they're walking up to the cottage, right? There's a bug catcher or like a bug zapper or whatever, and Adam Sandler's little girl is like, "Daddy, what's happening there?" And she doesn't understand the concept of death yet, which is hilarious.
Yeah, because in the beginning, she had answered the phone about the coach dying, and the person told her that the coach went to heaven. And so she tried to hop into the car to get the GPS to tell her where heaven was so that Adam Sandler could go visit his friend in heaven.
Yeah.
Crashed the fucking car, and yeah.
So anyway, the bug killer scene, she goes, "Daddy, what happened to that moth?" And then David Spade's like, "Going to hell." And then Adam Sandler's like, "Don't say that." She's like, "Oh, sorry, not hell, Mexico." I found that to be an extremely funny line. David Spade was my favorite character in the movie. I think he just had all the crack-wising humor that I enjoy from him.
David Spade being enjoyable is a very thin line.
Yeah. But like, you know, Emperor's New Groove, he's like on that line.
Yeah, he is perfectly casted in that. And he's pretty good in Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt. Is that the... I've heard of that movie.
Well, he's Joe Dirt.
Okay, never mind. That explains it. So...
I don't know how else to explain it.
One of my favorite parts of that scene, though, I highly enjoyed it when all the kids were screaming about the moth being dead and, "Oh no, the bugs, you're killing the bugs, it's awful, it's horrible." And so he goes and he unplugs the bug zapper and he picks a moth off of it and he says, "See, he's fine, he's just sleeping." And he tosses it and it just hits the ground and they're like, "It's dead!" And he's like, "No, it's still just sleeping." And then like, the old grandmother just goes inside and steps on it and
she goes, "Ooh, a porch swing!" And then she goes sits on it.
Yeah, she steps on it and he's like, "Now it's dead."
Yay, jokes. Ha 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 ha. So
why did you choose this movie?
Because funniness.
Because
Don't defend his choice, Kaylin.
Because I feel like it's such a hard movie to like describe scene by scene because all the scenes
actually happen.
None of it. No, it's literally just a movie about a bunch of adults acting like 12-year-olds.
And that's it. That's really...
Give me a set... Okay, these movies are built by their joke set pieces. Give me a set piece.
Okay, well, the only recurring joke that I enjoyed was that they have a dog. Kevin James has a dog. And,
oh, no.
And the neighbors didn't like the dog barking, so they either clip the vocal cords or they kill the dog. So they clip the vocal cords. And the dog... The dog sounds like a dying turkey. And people just say like just shit when they hear the dog, like, "Is that 2 owls fucking or whatever?" Like,
it sounds like 2 owls fucking, or it's a dead turkey, or who let the turkey in.
Just
Jesus.
Yeah. So that was a set. Rob Schneider's character. So remember how I said that he was into old women?
Wait, we have to get to his age fetish.
Yeah. So when he was like a little kid, when they were showing that part, David Spade's little kid was pointing at little girls, and they're like, "Yay!" But then Rob Schneider, little kid, was pointing at what seems to be the girls, but then it was just a mom, and she was like, "What, me?" And then in the future.
How old? Wait. How old were these kids when they did this?
They were the same age as the kids on, like as the little kids who were like David Spade and all that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, like 12.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyway, so when Rob Schneider,
because the way your voice is doing it, it makes me think of 6-year-olds.
It could be that, but
I think they're like 12. Like
they're like 3. So
they're amoebas.
When Rob Schneider shows up, he brings this 60-year-old woman or whatever, and like, "This is my wife." Everyone's like, "Whoa, she's old," and that's the joke. Did you want more? That was the joke, Ethan. You should laugh. That was the actual joke.
I feel like this movie's funnier to hear you two describe it.
And then of course there's the one kid that's like 4 years old and is still breastfeeding.
Oh my god.
And he's just like, "Mommy, can I have some milk?"
She's like, "Of course, sweetie," and she just like
this
flops
is
at her
perfectly
titty.
normal.
I'm just gonna die for a second because there's a big spider on my ceiling.
Okay.
Okay, die for a moment.
Okay, I'm dead.
That was a pretty good death sound.
Dude, you're as good at being dead as me.
What's that supposed to mean, Ethan?
I'm queen of being dead.
Did you hear her fall?
I did. That sounded pretty painful, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if it's gonna eat me or not.
Just get a fly swatter or something.
But it's on the ceiling.
Okay, then just like throw a book at it.
Yeah.
Stay here and deal with it later.
Well,
Okay.
okay. So what's the
This is
plot
the
of this?
second time the show has been interrupted by a fucking bug.
What's the plot of this movie?
What? I don't fucking know. You watched it.
I'm asking Kaylin technically because there's kind of a plot, but it shows up at the third act.
I would say, you know, they all realize that they have to let go and be a little bit childish sometimes. I don't know, like, cause there's like, they're all being like childish and stuff, but
Yeah.
then like, they get brought together when they just do childish stuff together, like when their wives have fun and stuff. You know? Like,
Yeah, they do the foot arrow thing. What was that called? Arrow roulette?
yeah, arrow roulette, yeah.
So there's this part of the movie where Rob Schneider's all down and sad for some reason. I can't remember, but...
Did his fucking wife die? in
No,
old
not
age?
yet. So... actually, the actress
funny.
is still alive, too. I looked up. And, like... So they go in the middle of the forest. And they're like, alright, let's do arrow roulette. We used to do this as a kid, and it was fun. They take a bow and arrow, and they just shoot it up. And then
Yeah.
whoever leaves the circle whoever is left in the circle is the winner. And then
Yeah.
it's just a slow-mo of everyone running, face planting.
Face planting, tripping over each
Does
other.
someone get hit by this arrow?
I mean, kind of.
Well, Rob, he's standing there. He's like, I'm gonna fucking win. You guys are all a bunch of losers. And then the arrow comes down and into his foot. And he's just screaming.
Yeah. And now he's like crippled for the whole rest of the movie. And
So
that's
this
a
sounds-
joke.
You know, this sounds a lot like lawn darts and why we stopped using those, but okay.
But this was more or less like an actual fucking weapon being shot into the air and just like blindly coming down and almost killing someone.
Well,
There
I
are
mean,
children
if
in the
everyone-
area.
Like, serious danger that don't do it.
I mean, have you ever seen a lawn dart?
Yeah, they're pretty nasty looking, actually.
Yeah, I saw
No,
one in
no
prison
fun.
once.
It's a stupid fucking idea.
So, I guess.
Everything's a stupid idea if you give it to the right people.
Hey,
Caleb, you
grown-ups.
said You said something too smart for this show.
So, they go to the.
Especially when we're talking about grown-ups.
So they go to a restaurant and David Spade's like.
The fucking spider move.
And,
Kill it!
I can't fucking see it now.
I knew this would happen.
so they go to a restaurant and David Spade's like, hey man, remember when we used to come here and get wasted? And then all the kids are like, what does wasted mean? And Adam Sandler's like, it means you have a hankering for ice cream. And all the kids are like,
Why are
I
the
want to
kids
get
with
wasted.
them at every step of the way.
Yeah, and then some kids like, I want to get chocolate wasted. And that was the funny line in the trailer, I remember. Everyone's like, that's fucking hilarious. He wants to get chocolate wasted because he's a little kid and kids don't get wasted. Ha ha ha.
I think it was the girl that said I want to get chocolate wasted.
I thought it was the little like 4-year-old boy with booby milk.
No, because it was
Oh yeah, no, it was okay. It was the little
the
girl.
one who doesn't know what death is.
Yeah.
I feel like Jack when we're talking about a movie to him and he's just slowly dying.
So there's a part where they had to go to Italy. Adam Sandler's family had to go to Italy.
Oh yeah, this is a thing that happened.
Yeah, but the wife is like, listen, I've learned my flaws and I don't think we should go to the Italy trip anymore. And everyone's like, yay, we're all happy now. And there's drunk scenes and there's pissing scenes and there's 2 fart jokes throughout the entire movie.
Only 2?
Yeah, I counted them. Let's see. 36 minutes into the movie, the first fart joke happened.
Oh wow.
And
That's some,
53
that's some
minutes
restraint right
in,
there.
the second fart joke happened. And they were both
Wow.
from the
Kevin James.
the grandma that Chris Rock brought. She's a fat old black grandma.
How many grandmas are these people bringing?
Just 2 at the moment.
Moment.
and and it's just, and she just farts, and it's funny.
Is she like a fat black grandma?
Yes.
Okay.
Very southern, has bunions.
Gotcha.
Big bunions. They keep making jokes about her.
Yeah, they call her Tobo Cop and oh, that's the only one I remember, honestly. If this movie was like improvised the whole time, I gotta give some credit because sometimes the jokes were pretty funny.
Well, I mean, at least it doesn't. It somehow, without any plot that to speak of, it sounds less grueling to watch than Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah, because there's no ghosts in Grown Ups.
Well, I mean, there's a dead dude.
Okay, I actually wanna point out this part, Kaylin. When they go to the water park, all the women are sitting in a row.
Yes.
And they all see this big attractive male just standing over there.
Big attractive male.
And they're like, "Ooh, come here, big boy."
That's a BEM. That's what we call it. BEM, big attractive male.
That's what
I would call him attractive, honestly.
Okay,
like,
big buff boy.
Kaylin,
what?
you may be a whammon, but you don't know what whammon like.
I do so know what women like.
But I wanna. Okay.
His body was attractive. It was like a godly body, but his face.
His face was
It was
So he walks up.
Wait, no. I'm more interested in this now. Describe his face.
His face kind of looked like a toad.
Ah.
It was kind of squat, squished. It kind of looked like it was too squared off. Like the top of his head looked square, his jaw looked square, his face just kind of looked like somebody had put it in a rectangular box and stomped on it.
It looks like if Benedict Cumberbatch took a lot of steroids.
Maybe.
His face is very lank.
Elongated face.
His face is very long.
Anyway, so the whole joke of that guy is that he walks over and he's Canadian.
Does he go, "Oh yeah, do you understand what I'm, oh sorry,
No, the joke is that every Canadian has a high-pitched voice.
Wait, I didn't. Oh, wait. Oh.
Yeah, he's from.
Hey, what's up, you from around this place? I'm from Saskatoon, eh?
So he sounds like Chris. So he sounds like the guy from Rush Hour.
Listen, all right, this is just a fact. I don't think every single white male in Canada has a high-pitched voice. I don't think that's true.
Listen, Hunter, I know what you were doing there.
Thank you. That was thank you.
I mean, did you hear Jack's voice? He does not have a high-pitched voice.
Is Saskatoon a real place, or was that made up?
Saskatoon is a real place.
Okay, because there's Saskatchewan. Is that in Saskatoon? Okay. I thought they made it up, to be honest.
and then later, I guess I don't know. They were all, the two of them, Adam and what was the other guy? I don't know.
There's a couple of guys in that movie.
Describe the guy.
Honestly, I don't remember. It was this
black.
Up in the middle of the night. They were up in the middle of the night and they were drinking the water out of the jugs.
Oh yeah, Kevin James. Yeah, they just finished having sex with their wives.
Oh yeah, and I think their wives have been saying something about Saskatoon or whatever.
Oh yeah, every wife as they were having sex were screaming, "Where are you from, Saskatoon?"
Yeah. That was it. Yeah, and then they heard Rob and his wife going at it. It's like, "Where are you from,
Saskatoon?" as they were f***ing. So
I'm glad you guys seemingly are enjoying this because I'm not.
Okay, so let's get into the actual conflict.
You guys haven't. Okay, can I say something? You guys have been talking for like 35 minutes. Some of that has been interrupted, and I don't think anything has actually been said so far.
So an hour and 20 minutes into this film, for some reason, all the main characters have to have that like, "Oh, you lied to me," and everyone's just mad at each other. But it doesn't last for long. It lasts for like.
It literally lasts for like 5 minutes, maybe.
Is this like a Shrek? Is this like a Shrek Hallelujah moment?
But in that film, right? They had like that time apart where they're thinking about it, and you watch them think about what they said to each other.
Playing.
And Hallelujah's playing, and Shrek goes to rescue. No, they're all still on the dock, and they come to a conclusion as soon as they have the argument. So it wasn't really needed.
I killed the spider.
Yes!
Yay!
It's poisonous little bastard too.
Oh.
What do you mean? What kind of spider was it?
It's one of the yellow-legged sack spiders. They
Oh,
bite you
okay, one of those spiders.
Yeah, I know what she's talking about.
Okay, so
You're scared of spiders. You know you're spiders.
Listen, let me look up yellow sack spider.
There's the yellow spider, there's the red one, there's the Minecraft spider. And that's it. Those are all the spiders.
Well, the yellow-legged spider is from Australia.
Yellow-legged sack spider.
Sack spider, okay.
There you go. Yellow-legged sack spider.
I don't like the sound of that sack spider. Sounds like a porno.
Yeah, I've seen those little bastards.
Nasty
Ethan,
bastard.
do you want to know what the plot is of this movie now?
I mean, you guys have been talking about this movie for a while, and all I got from it is that Coach dies, friends come together, hijinks ensue.
So do you remember?
That's it.
Yeah. Do you remember the little boy at the beginning who said, "Hey, you stepped on the line. It doesn't count." But no one listened to him.
Oh God.
Yes.
So
is
that
he the villain of this picture?
so at the
they
end of the
are,
movie,
kind of.
that boy comes back, or he's seen again, and he's an old man, and he's still pissed off about it, which is kind of funny.
This sounds like Meet the Robinsons.
They're like, we challenge you to a rematch.
And then he goes,
Wait, no. They can't convince me there's actually stuff going on in this movie.
at
They
the end, don't
challenge
worry.
them to a rematch through the whole movie. Like
Yeah.
3 times.
On the 4th of July.
Oh, well, you just forgot to mention that part.
Well, it's not that important.
Yeah, really.
It's not that important. It's only the climax of the movie.
So at the end of the movie, all of them, because they're all like, fat and adults, they kind of like all get off the court, except for Adam Sandler, the main bully, Adam Sandler's kid, and the main bully's kid. Now, I want to say something. Adam Sandler, if you haven't seen him play basketball, he's surprisingly very good.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, no, like seriously, he plays with like NBA stars, and like he's pretty good.
He looks the part.
So I don't know why this wasn't the whole plot of the movie.
This should have been like Vince Vaughn's dodgeball movie, but with basketball.
Exactly, that would have been perfect. But so at the very end,
Kevin James's heart couldn't handle it.
At the very end, just like Killer Sofa, surprisingly, the villains win. Adam Sandler sees the main bully, and he's like, "No, don't get the winning shot. I want to win for once." And then he looks back at the bully's family, and they're like, "No, don't get the shot. I want him to win for once." And then Adam Sandler misses the shot, so then the bully wins.
Yeah,
And that's
he decided that they needed to learn how to win for once, and his family needed to learn how to lose for once.
Oh.
And that's the plot of the movie.
It wasn't quite the end of the movie, because then there's that awesome scene where he's all drunk, and then he decides to play arrow roulette, and the entire crowd of people watching fireworks.
No.
They all go running and
They all go running and screaming, and the one guy from earlier when there was a scene when they were at the water park.
Oh, Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's in this. How did you not mention this until now? We were just talking about him last week.
That is very true. Steve Buscemi plays one of the bullies, like Goonies.
He does look like a goon.
And they're at the water park, and there's this one thing. It's what's the thing?
It's like zip lining.
Zip lining.
You hold on to this bar, and then you drop when you hit the cool part.
Yeah, and they dropped in the water, and they were all trying to one up each other, and they were like, "You should go by your feet." And he finally did it, and his foot got stuck, and then just crashed into a shed. So by the end of the movie, he's in like a full body cast. His arms are all up in the air, and he like really can't move very effectively.
Yeah.
And so he's left standing there when he shot the arrow up into the air, and everybody's running and screaming. He's like, "No one's taking me with you." And then the arrow comes and hits him in the foot.
And then the movie ends.
Yeah. But you know, they wanted something else, so there's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was 40 minutes of interruptions, detours, tangents, and probably 5 minutes of you guys talking about the movie.
that sounds like the movie, though, what you just said.
Yeah.
You don't need to describe the movie, Ethan. You actually just did it there.
Oh,
Only 5 minutes of the actual movie was mentioned, and the rest was just detours and interruptions.
You know what? This is the perfect review of this movie.
Wow.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Is that
10
your
out of 10 of
review,
the
Kaylin?
of the movie.
Both.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I enjoyed it only because it's a nostalgic value for me.
Yeah.
There were some jokes that actually were still funny to me, and I wasn't bored. So I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Solid 6 out of 10.
Yep.
I find it funny. I think it's a funny movie.
Okay, Kaylin.
So the funny part is that they called Adam Sandler's character, because he was big and famous, they called him Hollywood. And
Hollywood.
Speaking of Hollywood,
Oh, Top Gun.
there we go. I hope that transition worked pretty well, because the two characters.
Yeah, well, Hollywood is a bit of a minor character.
Yeah, but I heard the movie say the name. I was like, hey, I can link that. So
Okay, so Top Gun. This is the movie I chose.
yeah.
Now, there are 3 reasons I picked this movie. Number 1, it has been on it was on all month, like all of the last month, just on TV randomly.
Oh, okay.
And I'd be walking up to see my mom, and she'd just be watching it, and then I'd walk downstairs another day, and my dad's watching it on TV. I was eating dinner in the dining room, and Top Gun was on, and Top Gun was on, and our family was just kind of like half watching it while we were eating dinner. So I kept catching glimpses of it, so it was just in my fucking head. And originally, Hunter, what movie did I want to talk about?
You want to talk about a 2009 animated Iron Man movie?
Well, it's a 2008 animated Iron Man.
Oh,
movie.
sorry.
Ooh.
Well, no, because I find it funny because that's the same year, Iron Man came out.
Oh yeah, wait, it did.
So I find it funny that there was an animated and a live-action Iron Man movie that came out the same year, and I wanted to talk about it because no one else seems to know of its existence.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the Armored Adventures TV series.
No, I was not. I was talking about the Invincible Iron Man. That's what it's called. But you couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it. That thing didn't exist for me.
And then I was just like, all right, we're watching Top Gun instead.
Yeah.
And then the other reason is the sequel for Top Gun is coming out this year.
Allegedly. Let's be real.
They said, well, it was supposed to come out this summer, but then a quarantine happened,
Oh, okay.
and now it's supposed to come out in December.
It's gonna come out next year. Okay.
And if it comes, you know what? If it comes out next year, it's gonna be a big anniversary year for Top Gun.
Yeah. Why the didn't they just do that in the first place?
I don't know.
Stupid.
So, Top Gun.
Made
Caleb,
Top Gun.
It was made in 1986.
86.
Directed
Okay.
by Tony Scott, brother of Ridley Scott.
Yep. And thankfully, he isn't as pretentious as Ridley Scott has become.
He made Unstoppable, Deja Vu, and True Romance.
Yeah, and this is his best movie.
Yes, yes it is.
Okay.
And so, Top Gun is an elite pilot school in America to train the best of the best pilots to, fighter pilots.
Yeah.
All right.
Fly
So
planes.
the movie starts, and we get this.
If it was like not fighter pilot.
Yeah. So the movie begins, and we're on an aircraft carrier in the Indian Ocean,
Okay.
1986.
Yep.
Sure about it.
We're in it.
We're in it.
Okay. I got you, Kaylin. I got you. But so we got this slow build up as an F-14 jet is preparing to take off. We got this awesome melody of the Top Gun theme playing in the background. It's really slow, and then the engines ignite, they blast off, and then fucking
Danger Zone fucking pops up. Oh my
Danger
god.
Zone is blaring, and it's just epic.
And that song plays 4 times throughout the whole movie.
4 times throughout the whole movie, and it even has an instrumental version.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So what's happening is there's an unknown plane that enters the area, and if it crosses a certain line, it's going to cause an international incident event, basically. So they send in Tom Cruise as fighter pilot Maverick with his co-pilot Goose, played by the amazing Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
And they got their wingman Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper.
Okay.
So this is a fun fact about this movie, and I always laugh about this whenever I watch it. The plane they claim that the enemy is using, which they never specify who the enemy is.
Yeah, they never do.
Yeah.
Because this is Cold War tension era. We don't want to directly say the Russians.
I was about to say it's probably the
Russians.
Russians, but they didn't say anything.
Yeah, so they say the planes they're using are MiG-28s. Now, this is funny. Number one, MiG-28s aren't a real plane.
Okay.
And the plane they're using is an F-5.
Is that a real plane?
That is a real plane. But that's like the plane that they're using to be this Russian plane. And they even use the F-5 later in the movie as a training plane.
So do you want me to laugh because it was funny, or what was the funny part?
Yes, it's funny because if you know anything about planes, it's funny.
I know nothing about planes, though, so you're just talking to me about planes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Ethan. I added a laugh track. You're good.
Okay.
Oh, well, now I feel even worse. So anyway, they get into an altercation with these two totally real MiG-28s, but they aren't trying to shoot them down. They're just trying to spook them, because if they shoot them down, they're going to cause an incident.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Maverick quickly spooks off one of them. He gets a missile lock. That guy bugs out, but one of them, he's following his wingman, and he's got a missile lock, but that guy ain't firing too, and he's really scaring the shit out of him. And then Maverick pulls just the fucking most badass move ever.
Just some risky business.
Off of him. Hunter, please explain what he does.
Mans goes, hey, I'm gonna do something wacky and funny because I'm Tom Cruise. He flies over to the enemy jet. He flies upside down and then just touches the tip of each little window section, and then takes a Polaroid. What the f is it called? Polaroid?
Oh, no. He flips the bird.
Yeah,
and
he flips the bird.
His co-pilot Goose takes a picture.
Yeah, with a Polaroid camera. Click.
Yeah.
And then that scares the enemy plane, and they go, BAM!
And I love how all of it is real planes.
Yeah, no, that's the really interesting part
Cool
about this
thing.
movie. It should have been not should have been, but it would have been so hard to film, and the action scenes and the flying, it makes sense. And that's hard to do with planes.
Yeah, it's hard to do with real jets flying around at actual, speeds.
Yeah, and it's like 1986.
Yeah, it's 1986. And you'd think with constantly seeing shots of jets flying, shots of actors inside of jets that aren't actually flying, you'd think it would get confusing, but surprisingly they edit it in a way that makes sense.
Which is very good.
Okay.
Very nice.
And so then after that, they're returning back to the carrier, but there's a problem. His wingman is fucking freaking out. He's having a full-on panic attack in that thing. And he's not even responding to anyone. He's just freaking out. What'd you say?
His name's Cougar.
Yeah, Cougar. So Cougar's freaking the fuck out. And Maverick's coming in for a landing, and and then he decides, nah, I'm not gonna land. So then he doesn't land, and he fucking takes off again to go get Cougar. And then he talks him in. He talks him down, and and I'm like, when I was watching this, I didn't take my eyes off. I didn't pause or do anything. I was just watching because I was just so invested in what's going on. It's just, this is a good movie. That's the thing. It's been so long since I saw a legitimately full-on good movie in this.
It's weird because I
thought you said Killer Couch was a good movie, but
Oh wow.
Well, you
just did that, Ethan.
There's a difference between Killer Couch and Top Gun.
That was a sentence that was said today.
So, yeah.
Top Gun surprisingly has some fucking beautiful shots and some of the most nicest color grading I've ever seen in a film. Oh my God!
Yeah,
that
it's a
section,
beautiful film to watch.
that section when they're all in the control room watching like the first scenes, and it's just purple and red lights everywhere, and it's shot fucking beautifully, and there's like perfect lighting on people's faces that are talking, and oh, so nice.
Yeah, it's so good. And then so after they land, Cougar hands in his wings. He's like, I almost died up there. I want to go back to my family. I haven't even seen my kids. So he leaves.
Yeah.
And that leaves the captain pissed the off. He doesn't like Maverick and Goose. He doesn't like them. They're good pilots, but they're, it's in his name. He's a Maverick.
Yeah, I do my own thing.
So then because Cougar stepped down, he has to send Maverick and Goose to Top Gun. That's why
the title
he goes
of
to
the
Top
name.
Yeah, because that's the title of the movie, and that's the actual real life
movie. It's over.
Yeah.
Yep. Movie's over. So then we get Danger Zone again.
Again.
As Tom Cruise is driving a motorcycle, watching planes take off at the Top Gun base.
Oh, by the way, I don't think so. Top Gun is basically how I saw it. It's this like race to the finish to see who's the best pilot, and they get a trophy and bullshit. It doesn't really matter if you win Top Gun. It just means you won that competition.
Well, I mean, the reason why winning Top Gun means something is because the guy explains that if you get to win, you get to come back as an instructor.
Very true. Because, that's what you want to do.
Which, to be fair, I mean, well, wouldn't you want to do that after, you go into combat? You're like, I want to still fly, but I don't want to actually die. I'll train other people.
I guess that's fair.
Well, I don't know, because
doing something you like usually dies, you probably just want to teach the thing you like doing so that other people can die instead of you.
Well, I don't know, because you're the best of the best, so why would you waste that best of the best by just teaching people? It's more of a
I mean, well,
instincts and skills.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like when I mean, I see it more as like, you're old, you're getting older, so you just teach,
But they weren't old. None of the people that were there were old. They were all like 20 or whatever.
No, not the pilot. No, I'm talking about the instructors.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying if you're a winner, you can be an instructor, but all of them are like not old enough to really want to be an instructor.
I don't know. Tom Cruise changes his mind at the
I
end.
just that instructors have to be old.
I mean, I don't want to be teaching a class for the rest of my life.
Are you making a statement here?
You're crossing lines that shouldn't be crossed.
I haven't moved from this couch this whole entire time, Kaylin.
Anyway, so Top Gun. So the reason why Top Gun even exists is because after missiles were invented, pilots became too reliant on missiles, and they don't know how to actually dogfight. So this is to teach them how to dogfight.
Right.
Yeah, done. That's pretty much it.
And yes. So then we meet.
Oh, cause like dog. Yeah, I get it. Okay, you can go on.
Jesus, Hunter. So then we meet Val Kilmer, and he's playing Iceman because he's cool as ice.
He looks like Johnny Bravo.
And the moment you meet him, you know he's a dick. He's got the hair spiked up. It's clearly been dyed blonde. He's flipping the pen, chewing gum, and he gives Tom Cruise a shit-eating grin.
Yeah, and he plays Batman, so...
He played Batman in the least memorable Batman movie.
Yeah. Which one was it?
Forever.
How did you remember it if you didn't remember it, Ethan?
I don't remember him in it, but I remember Jim Carrey in it.
But you remembered that he was in that film, so...
Yeah, because I remember that Michael Keaton was in the first and Returns, and then George Clooney was in Batman and Robin, and I'm like, process of elimination.
Ethan, we're talking about Top Gun, not Batman.
You brought Batman into
this. Okay, stop pointing fingers.
Hunter didn't do anything.
Thank you.
Okay, so... something I actually liked is, Maverick's looking around, and then Goose asks him what he's doing. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who's the best." And then the instructor's like, he's like, "Do you want to know who's the best?" And he points to the plaque, and he's like, "No, everyone whose name is on on that plaque was the best. And then he looks at Maverick and he says, "Do you think your name will be on that plaque?" And he's just like, "Yes, sir." And I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be a hard ass." And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "Oh, I like that about you."
Yeah,
I like.
It was like a completely different change because we already have the hard ass guy who was
Michael Ironside.
Oh no, I was talking about the principal from Back to the Future.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna bring up that just by yelling slacker. There's a great moment that just even after all the visual cues that Iceman is a dick, we get I love the dialogue in this. Hunter, did you notice how like just fun and fluid the dialogue felt in this movie?
It felt like an 80s movie. It felt like this was the most 80s movie I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's peak 80s. So it's just like, I like how he's like, "I'm sorry to hear about Cougar. He was a good man." Tom Cruise is like, "He is a good man." And then Iceman just goes, "That's what I said. He's eating some nuts." And I'm like,
yeah,
it's such a good way to show how much of a dick he is.
Either that or if he was like eating an apple or some bullshit.
Yeah, and then Maverick and Goose are making bets on Maverick wooing a woman, and that's when he spots Kelly McGillis.
Protagonist.
McGillis, sorry.
Is that finally a person with a real name?
I don't. Her name in the movie is Charlotte.
Ah, real name.
Her name in the movie is Charlotte. I just know her from her actress.
Her actual name.
Yeah.
So
then he grabs the mic. And they start singing, "You've lost that love and feeling," and all the pilots join in on the song.
Which I guess that means it's a recurring like pickup line for pilots. That's just what they go with.
I guess so.
They rehearse it and shit like that to help everyone out. Like, "Oh, let's help this guy get laid." Like.
So then, now this is gonna sound worse. Hunter, are you gonna agree with me that this is gonna sound worse than it actually is than it's done in the movie?
Maybe.
When he follows her into the bathroom?
No, that actually was worse. That's still weird no matter what context you say. He walks into the girl's bathroom when she goes into the girl's bathroom.
Into the washer.
And then they f***, right? Like, it's implied that they f***.
They do not f***. They have a flirt.
I like to imagine that they fucked in the girl's bathroom.
She flat out leaves, but the thing is that as she walks by Goose, she tells him, "Your friend was magnificent." So she's kind of like, I don't know if she did it intentionally, but she unintentionally or intentionally is basically saying, "Yo, I f***ed your friend."
Yeah, which is pretty nice. And they cut off to the point where like he's like, "Whoa, man, did that happen?" And they cut off before he says anything, and I kind of like that.
He says, "No, that's bullshit."
Oh, I watched the part. I watched the movie then where it just cut off without him saying anything.
Oh.
Maybe you watched like a director's cut or whatever.
I might have watched a weird director's cut. Okay, but so then
next scene.
Of course, Charlotte is a civilian, but she's an instructor as well at Top Gun.
Yeah, so she's a higher up.
Yeah, she's a teacher essentially. And then this is another plain, just fun thing to me because they say it's like, "Yeah, you're gonna be training with the F5," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that was the fake MiG as well, guys."
There's the laugh track again. Ethan, are you happy that this is funny?
No one else finds this funny because you don't know planes.
I don't know what you're talking about. Did you hear thousands of audience members laughing at that moment?
Well, I found it funny.
You.
That was uncalled for, and you know it.
No one called for it.
Okay, so then they openly flirt at the meeting, and he calls her out. He calls her out about being wrong about the MiG because he references the stunt he pulled at the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. And then we get awesome Maverick and Goose being best bros ever.
Yeah, best bros ever. Mustache man.
And Ethan, like me and you.
Oh, why? Thank you, Kaylin.
Oh, that even works too because Tom Cruise is a unibrow in this movie, so that even works.
He does. I noticed that. I was so tempted to write it. I'm like, nah.
I was trying to. God damn it! I had this whole section in my head where I was gonna like introduce the movie. So like Tom Cruise and his unibrow go to flight school.
So then we get another awesome scene of real jets flying around in a training exercise.
Those are always cool. Whenever that happens.
So, what happened? And then, basically, Maverick pulls off a move. He's able to take out the test. He's able to pass the test, but he did two things wrong. First of all, he buzzed the tower, which means he flew by the tower.
Yeah.
at a low angle. And have you ever had a jet fly over your head at a low angle?
It's not fun.
I've never had.
It's fucking scary when you don't know it's coming.
It's my
What's so funny about that?
Exactly. So when he flies by the head tower or whatever, the big chief or whatever spills his coffee, he goes fucking and then and then he calls him down. He's like, I want them fucking gone. You spilled my goddamn coffee. And then he walks
and then
out.
Gets more coffee.
Yeah, he walks out and bumps into a guy holding coffee that spills on him. He's like, God damn it, not again.
So then, we get more of Iceman being a dick to Maverick because he flies too dangerously, and then there's of course the bit where it's like, your father was a pilot as well, and he was just like you.
And then it hit me at that moment, at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Why isn't Tom Cruise like Green Lantern?
Yeah, he would.
Right?
Yeah, like he feels like he could just be Green Lantern. He could be Hal Jordan in this movie.
Dude, like I kept getting Hal Jordan vibes throughout the whole entire thing.
Yep.
It felt like a Green Lantern movie, honestly.
Well, he's too busy with Mission Impossible now.
I've never seen that one either.
That's the movie where he goes, whoa. His character is just our two names put together, Ethan.
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt, okay.
Middle name Janaway.
Ethan Janaway Hunt.
Yeah, that's only funny for us, audience.
So, and anyway, they're pissed off about Maverick because he blew the hard deck. He flew too low in the training exercise. What?
He blew the hard deck.
That's what it's called. Okay.
Ethan, do you blow the hard deck a lot?
You know what? Whatever you want to think, buddy.
Okay.
So anyway, then he flirts more with his teacher Charlotte. Yeah. And then we get the volleyball.
The volleyball scene, the most testosterone-filled, slightly gay scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
This movie, I have seen so many jokes about this scene being gay throughout my years.
It's just because
it's three bare-chested men playing volleyball, all sweaty, and they're just like really broing out.
It felt like a scene out of like Magic Mike or something. Like I felt like I should have been a lady, like grabbing her wine glass a little too hard or whatever.
And then they do the iconic Top Gun high five that I've seen, referenced a million times and stuff.
Yeah, what, the high five to the ass slap?
No, it's not an ass slap. It's a high five into a low five as they
walk by. I always thought it was shot weirdly, so I always thought it was an ass slap at the end.
Okay, well then you thought it was even gayer than it was. So then, but throughout the whole scene, and by the way, this has got, some awesome music during this volleyball scene.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's perfect. The music is perfect.
What is it? Is it Mighty Wings, is it called?
I believe it is Mighty Wings.
I want to talk about that after we discuss this whole movie.
And then, Tom Cruise, he's constantly looking at his watch. And then the game ends, and then he leaves the game. He leaves Goose to go on a date with Charlotte.
And this is my favorite shot of the whole goddamn movie. Tom Cruise pulls up to the girlfriend's house, and it's just this beautiful, like, Miami sunset, and the sunset is, like, white, and it fades into pink, and the palm trees are, like, perfectly black, and it's framed perfect, and it just made me happy.
Yeah.
It looked like a sound...
This movie gave me a lot of dumb smiles.
This movie gave me a lot of, like synthwave vibes.
Yeah. So... they're talking, they're flirting.
Yeah.
Then they talk about how his dad went missing, and then he leaves.
Natural progression of the conversation.
Yep.
Of course.
She's into him, because number one, it's 24-year-old Tom Cruise. This is before he was, crazy Scientologist.
But after when he shaved his unibrow, I guess.
Yeah, and and then she's also like, yeah, you're the only pilot to ever go up against a MiG-28. That's hot.
I want to actually talk about something. Okay, so both of you, do you know what a leitmotif is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
it's a theme that goes with a character.
So like say Luke Skywalker has this like
Okay,
yeah, and it pops up when he shows up or when he does something
Yeah,
heroic.
they have the love theme.
Yeah, so
They have
their love theme is like take my breath away, but they do something really unique with it, where every time they're together, it's just an instrumental of it.
Yep.
And it's like snippets of the instrumental, and then once they finally get together
that's when it's
in the sex scene, once they start kissing, the lyrics add in and it adds like this whole new punch.
Yeah.
Which was really smart, I feel.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah. It finally took her breath away. It was in her head the whole time, and it finally came out.
So, so when he leaves, she's very visibly disappointed by him leaving. She's like, oh, fuck, man, I wanted to stay. Yeah. And then the next scene, he's shirtless with a towel, and he gets into an elevator, and there she is. And they nearly go at it in the fucking elevator, but someone else comes in there and kind of kills the mood.
Yeah.
And then we get Goose's family arrives.
Yeah, some ragtag group of Texans.
Yeah, I love his wife. Meg Ryan is awesome.
Yeah, no, she's perfect in the movie.
And she's only in a couple scenes in the whole movie, but she makes
Very effective. Yeah.
She makes it. She's so peppy. She's so she's just got that energy that you just kind of want to sit there and be with these people.
Exactly.
And I think that's the best way to describe whenever these characters are together. You just kind of want to sit there and be with them. You can watch a whole movie of them being together. And
even Iceman, I wouldn't mind being with Iceman because he seems like a dick, but he's not
he's not overly dickish.
He's not over the top dick, which I enjoyed a lot.
He actually has a reason to be a dick because Maverick's dangerous flying. That is a danger to everyone.
Exactly. He's just telling the truth.
So then they're sitting down and Charlotte's explaining what happened at the beginning of the movie when they took on those jets at the beginning, and she's explaining, Maverick did something wrong here, and he's pissed off about this, and he storms off. And afterwards he storms off. He's going to get on his bike, and she's like yelling at him. She's trying to get her words out, and he just doesn't fucking care, and he drives off. And then she gets in her car and she drives after him, and it gets to the point where she drives through a fucking red light and nearly gets hit by a car, and then he stops and he looks at her and he's like, "You call me fucking crazy? Look at how you're driving!" And they're just screaming at each other, and I'm just like, "Oh my god." It feels so real. And then she's like, "You didn't let me finish, you idiot." It's like, "I said that you were doing something wrong, but I see a real genius in you." And he's like, "You do?" And then it's like, that's when they finally get together.
That's when they finally
Yeah, then they bang.
They bang.
The music is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this little detail. When she wakes up, there's that origami of the plane, and that's a note that he left her.
Okay, so wait, you watched apparently a director's cut. Did you see what was on the note?
That wasn't in the version you saw?
I didn't. She opens the note and she smiles and it cuts. And I enjoyed that it didn't show what the note said. Did you see it?
Oh, well, I'm saying like the note was like shaped in a. It was like a plane.
Yeah, it was shaped in a plane. But I liked how when she opened the note, they didn't show what the note said.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
But I like that too. It's just that I liked how he made it like a plane. It's just kind of cute. And then we get the line.
Why are you being so sentimental?
Sorry, Kaylin?
You've been so sentimental.
Do you want me to be a dick to this movie now?
No.
Okay. So,
then
Unibrow
Hunter...
and Mustache f***ing say their goddamn line that's on every single Hot Topic t-shirt.
I got a need for speed.
Yeah.
And the thing is that line has just been overused and overplayed and parodied to death, but it's just, I don't know, it still works. And
there's something about it when they say it in the movie. It's not forced. It doesn't seem like we're saying it now, like the sequel will probably do.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like with Terminator how they always have to shove in an "I'll be back."
Yeah, like it just felt like something that both of them will say to each other.
Yeah, they just have the chemistry between Tom Cruise and Edwards is it's so good. They feel like they have been lifelong best friends.
Oh, hell yeah.
And So we're in another training exercise, and we get awesome aerial shots. And the thing is that I didn't write anything of what really happens outside of the big stuff, because there's no dumb shit. This isn't like Resident Evil, the final chapter.
Thank God.
But so Maverick, he makes a mistake. He leaves his wingman.
Oh no.
What?
Never leave your wingman.
Yeah, but he does impress the instructor Viper. I forgot to mention his name earlier. But he impresses him with his flying. Like, he's very impressed with just how good he is.
Yeah.
But he loses the exercise because he left his wingman and he gets taken out. And we get more of Iceman being a dick, but he really does have a point.
He does have a point, yes.
And then yeah, he's a dick with a point.
Like all dicks are.
Yes. So then we get a nice little scene between Goose and Maverick as they just have a nice quiet moment together where he's just like, at first I wanted to graduate with a top score, but now I'm just thinking I just want to graduate now. And it's just they just have such a natural chemistry together, and it just feels like, I don't know, there's just some warmness to it where you're just like, oh, they're just...
It felt
just
like
so
you're
good.
looking at them and you're saying, oh, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. And then when we get the scene where Goose is playing the piano, his kid is there, and they're singing Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, and it's just
And
a scene.
Meg Ryan, she's talking to Charlotte, and she's like, yo, like, I've known Maverick, I love Maverick, but he's never been committed to a woman. He's committed to you. He likes you a lot. No, she flat out says he loves you, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then they all just sing Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire together, and it's so fun.
Just a cute scene.
And then we get Danger Zone again. And this time, and we get another training exercise, but Maverick is flying with Iceman as his wingman this time.
Oh, okay.
And, it's been very pointed out at this point that Iceman is at the top, and Maverick is, like, just behind him in points, and it's very clear that in this exercise, they're not flying with each other as, like, a team, they're flying in a competition.
Yeah.
And Maverick, he's lining up behind his target, and then Iceman just cuts off in front of him, and he's just in front of him. And and Maverick's just like, get out of the way, Iceman, I got a shot, and Iceman's just really determined to get this shot. He's got to stay in front of Maverick, he's got to be better than Maverick. And finally, he finally concedes, and he flies off, but then, and then Maverick gets hit by just a blast of jet wash, which just takes the engines out, and the jet's in a flat spin, and it's just, oh man.
What's a blast wash? Is that like the air that comes out of the engine or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like, it's
so
like
it f***s up the plane and it starts spiraling in the air.
And there's no way they can recover.
Yeah.
Like, at all. And they're freaking out, and they're just like, we gotta eject. And Hunter,
this was f***ed up.
This was really sad.
This was because it was like out of nowhere sad. So they pull the escape chute from their hatch, right?
So the canopy blows up and over them, and then they get shot out of their ejector seats.
But the top, like the glass part, it still was kind of open because of it. And when they got shut up, Tom was fine, but Goose fucking smacks his head.
And you hear the bones crack.
Yeah, you hear and it's just.
And then you get this shot of them parachuting into the water, and you just see his lifeless.
You see like Tom like holding. You see his head, and then you look down. You just see one of them just like flopping over like a wet towel.
And then he's like swimming out of the water to Goose, and he's just cradling his best friend, and he's just weeping over his friend, just being dead.
Yep.
And it's like, and then we get the helicopter comes in. They get Tom out, and and it's so unnerving to see them, like, they hook Goose up to a chain, and he's just hanging there lifeless.
I am so happy that they didn't have a funeral scene.
But it.
Because
oh my God.
it would have made.
It would have been too much. It would have been too much.
It would have been too much, and it would have like almost made the audience kind of feel like they got the remorse, and it helps the film a lot more.
That's not what they're trying to do. And Oh my god, the scene afterwards when he's clearing out Goose's stuff, and then he goes to Goose's wife, and she's barely holding it together. She's crying. She's barely getting her words out, and he's just standing there, and he's just barely holding back tears.
It's just face acting at this point. They're just looking at each other, trying to say something, but they can't.
And it's just like you can tell if he said anything, he would just break down in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, sometimes when you watch Tom Cruise nowadays, it's kind of like you forget that he can be a really good actor.
Yeah, because this was like this caught me off guard. Genuinely, this whole movie caught me off guard.
Hunter, I knew what was coming, and it still upsets me.
God damn.
Like, this was because it's been so long since I've seen the movie all the way through, and I forgot like how well they actually handled his death. It was just a shock, and I said out loud, "What? No!" And a movie hasn't done that to me in a while, so that was pretty nice. Yeah, and so of course, Maverick, he takes it hard. He blames himself, and he gets a thing that basically says, he's in like a court, and they basically say, the situation was uncontrollable for you, Maverick, so we're gonna give you don't have the death penalty because of it, so you're fine. So you get to fly again. Yeah. But he can't fly. He tries to fly, but he just can't take the shot. He's got a shot, but he just can't do it during a training exercise. And this was a bit of a nice scene where Iceman apologizes. Oh yeah, because it wasn't over the top. It was one shot. And it was Tom is just like, he's clearing something in his locker, and the Iceman comes up behind him, and he's clearing something out, and he closes his locker, and he looks at him, and he gathers himself for a second. Yeah. He looks try up, and find the words. Breathes in. And he's like, I'm sorry about Goose. And then you can see Tom, he's like his fist is shaking, and it's like he's like ready to fucking punch him in the face. Yeah. And then Iceman is like struggling to find the words, and he's just like, I'm sorry, like, about Goose, and like he's like, everybody liked him, and then he's just like he can't find the words, and he just is like, I'm sorry, and then he walks away. Yeah, very effective scene. But then after that, Tom leaves. He doesn't. Yeah. He quits. He quits out of the Top Gun, which was once again very unexpected. Yeah. And one of the other pilots, they call Charlotte to talk some sense into him. Yep. And she goes to him. She gives him a pep talk. Doesn't work. Which that's another thing that I was kind of surprised about, because usually it's the love interest that gets the guy back into the fight. Yeah, but this time it was not that, which it refreshing. Yeah, it was refreshing, surprisingly. And then he goes to his instructor, Viper, who's like the best pilot. The best of the best. And, he talks to him, and that guy tells him, he's like, this is classified, but I'm going to tell you what happened to your father. And after hearing about what his father did... He was in the Vietnam War, he f***ed too many prostitutes, and now he lives in Vietnam. He hasn't come back since. Yeah. He's now a pimp there, if you can imagine that. Yeah, that's totally what happened. Yep. So then, that gives him the confidence to go back. He graduates, and the moment they graduate, they're called into action. Well, hold on. So Iceman actually won Top Gun because of that. Yeah, he did. Which, once again, for some reason, the recurring theme of tonight, the antagonist wins. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. The recurring theme. Weird.
We love watching movies. Yep.
By complete accident.
But that always...
Because we all have a glorious mental link.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway.
So then they're called into action, and they're back on the same carrier that we started the beginning of the movie with, in the Indian Ocean with the principal from Die Hard. Yeah. And so a U.S. ship has stumbled into foreign territory, and they're called in for air support to bring them back in. And they're specifically told, do not fire unless you're fired upon. And whenever I hear this, I'm always just thinking, you know what that means? One of them is going to get killed before they have a chance. Exactly. Which is exactly what happens. Yeah. Was it Hollywood? Yeah, Hollywood. Was it my transition scene? Yep.
Yeah.
So, this was also a kind of... I can't tell if Iceman was being a dick or if he was actually looking out for Maverick here, but, you know, he has a moment when he says, he's like, you know, about Maverick, and he's like, no, I don't want to hear that His commanding officer's like, I don't want to hear that shit. He's fine.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like thinking, it's like, is he being a dick or is he looking out for him in a way?
Probably both, in a way.
Yeah. So, Iceman and Hollywood are sent in. Maverick's the backup. And they're on the radar. It's like, oh, there's only 2. We're fine. And then suddenly, there's more than 2 because they're so tightly packed that the radar only thinks it's 2. There's 5.
There's 5 of them.
And Hollywood taken out instantaneously, but they don't die.
Yeah, thank God. He just gets taken out.
Yeah, because we've already had Goose die. We don't
need more.
So then Maverick is sent in to back up Iceman, but no one else is coming to help them because, you know, some bullshit about them not being able to get any planes in the air.
Yeah, something like that. 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, so then there was a moment when, you know, Maverick gets hit by jet wash again, but he's able to recover this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten over that.
He's holding the dog tag of Goose, and he hears the Obi-Wan Kenobi speech. Use the Force, Tom. And
and he almost has a moment where he ditches Iceman because Iceman's in trouble, but then he's like, nah, I'm going back to help.
Nah, I gotta use the Force.
I'm not leaving my wingman.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is the thing about this movie, Hunter. I don't know about you, because I don't know how many plane movies or shit you watch.
How many plane movies? I've seen Snakes on a Plane, and that's it.
So, I'm not really a fan of modern day dog fights because it's a lot of missile lock, it's a lot of fire and forget.
Well, I mean, modern day dog fights are just like drones now, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean.
I do.
Fire a missile, you know, whatever. But this movie, it's like they're not a million miles away from each other. They're actually close and shooting guns.
They create
and
tension with the limited
abilities
limited abilities that they have. They create tension with it, which is really cool.
And, you know, slowly but surely, Maverick and Iceman are able to take out all the MiGs, and you know, they work together.
Men hugging, screaming, yay.
Yeah, and then they land, there's a big celebration, and then Iceman gives them you're still dangerous, but you can be my wingman anytime.
Yay, we're all sweaty and men hugging.
Yeah. So
this is the one part of the movie I didn't really understand. Yes, exactly. When he threw the dog tags in the ocean, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure about that. I mean, maybe it was him saying like, I'm putting Goose behind me.
That's because he's this whole entire journey he's been trying to kind of live up to the legacy of his dad. Well, not legacy, but more or less like
the infamy
of it. So I think that was kind of a subtle way of saying because Goose would have been the exact same thing, and that's why he left. So he's kind of putting Goose aside, you know, not focusing on it, throwing it in the water because he now has a clear mind and he's gonna do him.
So, you know, and then we get a nice, sweet moment. Maverick goes back to the Top Gun place. He's in a bar. He's sitting alone. And then someone puts on the jukebox, You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling, and then there's Charlotte, and they just have a little chat, and they get back together. Movie ends.
And then the movie ends on a shot with them about to kiss, and in the background a Pepsi logo.
And we got the awesome credit music of Rage and Fire.
Yeah.
And we got so much awesome music. We got the Top Gun theme, you know, the.
All right, I want to talk about one song. So, shit. Wait, Wings. What was it called? Wings.
Are you talking about the love song?
No, not that.
Are we talking about the Top Gun theme?
It goes down, down, down.
Danger Zone?
No, that's not Danger Zone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
What part of the movie was this in?
It was the volleyball.
Oh,
scene.
The volleyball scene. Yeah.
What? What song is that? Mighty Wings. So here's the first bit of Mighty Wings. And here's the first bit of Ken's theme from Street Fighter 2.
Oh,
they're the same thing.
Yeah. So, fun fact: when I watched a video talking about Top Gun a while ago. It was a Cinemassacre video, and they said the same thing, that the music sounds like music in Street Fighter.
It's the same thing. It's the opening, not the whole song, but the opening is the same thing.
Street Fighter totally took music from Top Gun.
Yeah, which, I mean, if you're gonna represent one of the American fighters, come on, Top Gun's it.
Yeah. So, Hunter, overall, what would you have to say about Top Gun?
Well, I wrote this down. Hold on. Well, all in all, honestly, this was a beautifully shot and acted movie. But this was also the most 80s like propaganda I've ever seen.
Okay, so fun fact about this movie: after it came out, the recruitment for the Navy fucking shot up.
Exactly. This is the most like sneakiest propaganda I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah, it's so good you don't even realize it.
But you gotta give credit to how they shot the fight scenes with real jets, and they were never fake jets,
and like that part where they're like flying at each, it's like out of an air show where they're flying at each other and last second they don't hit each other.
It's like real, like you're watching real things, so you have real tension watching it.
And you just know while they're filming that, it's just like, oh god, someone could die at any moment. And they're using real military jets. Like, these weren't jets that were out of service at the time. These were the real deal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
This is so far the best movie I've picked.
I think still Killer Bean is my favorite, but
that you've picked.
Yeah. Okay, Kaylin, it's that time of the podcast where the person who didn't watch the movie has to describe what the movie was based on what we said.
Movie? Okay. So... fighter pilot who flies very, very well, but he flies very, very dangerously.
Yep.
Goes to fighter pilot school, and he falls in love with his fighter pilot teacher.
Yep.
And then his wingman dies, but he's really sad, so he tries to leave and quit, and eventually he decides to come back. And then the asshole guy actually graduates at top of their class, and then they're actually out doing real fighting stuff, and then they live happily ever after.
You know what's my favorite part about these little synopsis parts?
Yeah.
It's like asking an 8-year-old, so what happened in this movie, sweetie?
Well, the guy went to flight school, and then his friend died, so he was real sad.
Fun fact, I saw this movie when I was like 7.
Perfect movie to watch when you're 7.
Oh, I like men.
Hunter, I'm the guy that, my dad showed me Aliens when I was 4, Jaws, and he showed me a lot of R-rated movies that I probably shouldn't have seen at 4 and 5.
That makes a lot more sense now.
I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons when I was like 16.
What? Dude, I was watching I distinctly remember I was like 2 and Family Guy, and I was watching Family Guy at the time.
Hashtag sheltered.
Hashtag Simpsons.
End The Simpsons already. It's
no,
awful.
I want The Simpsons to sponsor. I want Homer Simpson as our next guest.
You know what? At the rate The Simpsons is going, we're gonna be older than Homer Simpson is in the canon.
I don't like that.
Don't! Jesus, what was that?
That was me.
That was the sound of a microphone dying.
Yeah, because all I heard was BOOM!
Isn't that what Homer sounds like in general?
I mean, Hunter, you kind of sound like that, but you sound better than that.
Yes, Flanders.
So,
we're done. That's all the movies.
This has been a fun time.
This has been a fun time, actually.
I mean, we completely got off base when Grown Ups was being talked about.
No, that film was talked about thoroughly.
The spider, Hunter's mom coming in, fucking random shit that we could think of that was more interesting than the movie.
Was. Okay.
And so next week, Jack will be back, and then in a few weeks, Jack will be gone again. So Kaylin will probably be back again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a reoccurring guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just you're not a one-off. You're you know, you're
like a 3-off.
Yeah.
You'll come back for like anniversaries and top 10s or whatever we do. I don't know.
You'll come back when we talk about the next Top Gun movie so that we can talk about it.
Okay.
I'll come back whenever you need me.
She's like Master Chief. We'll wake her when we need her.
She's not big and green.
He's not. Oh.
He's like, what do you mean? Master Chief is like 7'4".
Yeah, he's 7'4". Well, there's female Spartans.
Yeah, but we're talking about Master Chief.
Well, they're also 7'3".
Okay, fair enough. Let's end this.
Time to end this. So, everybody who's still listening after the ramblings that was what we just did.
Listening to me.
I hope you've enjoyed. Do all the shit that we told you to do last week if you listened.
Yeah, like, subscribe, or
do
like,
that.
You could share the video. Sharing the video would be cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we always forget to say share.
If you want to do like how Game Grumps get like little animated bits, if you want to find a funny part, like if you want to animate Kalen killing a spider, that's cool.
If you want to animate the part where Hunter's mom came in about David Spader.
Oh, then that's even better.
So anyway, this has been QuarinTime with Ethan,
Hunter,
and Kaylin.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Shit, my mouse disappeared. Where'd it go? No! You motherfucker!
Oh, no.